Hey everybody, welcome back. It is Friday, Free Speech Friday. Thanks for being here. Appreciate every one of you. I'm by myself today. I see Fabiola just jumped into the chat. She's in Cali right now on work. So it's just going to be us. You have to deal with this mug instead of my beautiful wife. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, I know before I get into it, if I don't say hello to everyone, I'll get like the kick underneath or the virtual kick underneath the desk. So let me go ahead and say hello to everyone. We have Starfire. How you doing? Dominic is here. Mo World, how are you? Peter, you're here. You're not sleeping. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Peter is your moderator tonight and every night. Let's see. Radioactive Texan, how are you doing? John Wolf. Ricky Joe, how are you doing, Ricky Joe? Who else we got here? Moving right along. Let's see. There's a lot of back and forth talk. We got Fabiola saying that she'll pop in and out. Once again, she's on work in Cali. John, how are you doing this evening? Who else do we have? Sarah, how are you doing, Sarah? Now, we have I know that this thing bounces around. I know Fabiola complains about it all the time, and it does that. It has to do with YouTube and the way this chat window works. Sometimes it's steadfast and really sturdy and it works really well. Then other times, if you just click somewhere, it'll just roll to the bottom and then you're scrolling back up to try to figure it out again. Anyways, Shannon, how you doing this evening? We have David, City Twister, Bozy, how's it going? We have David again, and who else? Robert, how are you doing, Robert? The Dub Pod, I like it. Travis, how are you doing? Alberto from Chile, how are you doing? So tonight it's going to be more kind of laid back. Something that's just amazing happened. You notice there's this thing where there, it's over here. See this thing? 9,900, what does it say? 925. 99,925. Guys, we are 75 subscribers from 100,000. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen this evening or not. It could, possibly, but I put out a message to all of you guys. If you are not a member, you didn't get it, but I asked all the members, I'm like, what do you want me to do for this 100,000 subscriber? I thought that this was going to happen in September, right around my birthday. All of a sudden, we went from getting anywhere from 1,000, 1,500, 1,800 subscribers a month. This month, it's double, more than double that. It just happened. So you never know what's going to happen with YouTube. Sometimes they push you, sometimes they don't. And, you cannot count on an algorithm. Any of these people that say, oh, yeah, we can get you X number of subscribers because we understand the algorithm. You don't understand shit. Trust me. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. YouTube for 10, 15 years. I don't know, a long damn time. There's no understanding it. They do what they do, right? The best thing that you could do as a content creator is just constantly create content and hope that someone likes it and make sure that you like it. If not, you're going to get bored, you're going to get sick of it, you're going to get tired, you're not going to do it anymore. I found out the other night, I was researching this, that there was over 100 million channels. 100 million channels, 101 million channels or something crazy amount. And out of that, 449,000 channels actually have 100,000 or more. I was floored. I didn't think that was the case. I thought every time I get to a channel, it's always 100,000, 200, a million, and you expect everyone to have that. So that's a literally 0.5%, right? 0.5% actually reach 100,000. So I am honored. It's all because of you guys, and just for so long that you've been with me, many of you, and that have constantly been sharing my channel. It's actually your channel, but our channel on Facebook, on Reddit, on Discord, everywhere. And it's really helped a lot. And we see it with these numbers. They've just blown up this month. Anyways, I'm kind of ranting here, but I'm just excited. I just, you put forth a lot of effort into, looking at a goal. And then once you get that goal, obviously you have to reevaluate, and then go for the next goal, right? So right now the goal is 100,000 subscribers. And right now we are, we're at 927. So we just gained 2 subscribers while I'm talking. That's awesome. Really appreciate it. So tonight, the couple of things that, I've been talking about the last week. Number one, Adobe Corporation being assholes. I mean, this is nothing new. Most of you guys know this. It's like, speaking to the choir. If you are a creative, you know that Adobe, treats you like shit. They always have. I shouldn't say always. Yeah, let's say always. Yeah, let's say always. So, and I cut the cord with them like 5-6 years ago, and I brought you along the trip, right? And at that time, I created this Life After Adobe Cutting the Cord series. And there is I literally, thousands, I would probably venture to say 10,000 or more people cut the cord because of all of my videos. So, which is really nice. And they come back to me like, yeah, you saved me over the last, 10 years or whatever, the last 5-6 years, whatever it is. You saved me, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, whatever the crazy amount is. Times that by 100 people, times that by 1,000 people, times that by 10,000 people, right? So I'm very happy to be a thorn in the side. Okay, because they just do stuff that's just not nice, right? I think it's an evil company. They make it very difficult for you to unsubscribe. They make it nearly impossible. And I took you along that trip and I actually showed you. I actually did the phone call with Adobe and recorded them. So it's on my videos. So take a look at them. I got a playlist just for the Adobe stuff. Anyways, long story short, it's next to impossible to cancel with them once you're in it. All right, they make it very difficult. And the DOJ, the Department of Justice, said, you know what? You guys are assholes. That guy, JCristina, yeah, he's been right for all of these years. You guys are assholes. And we are going to sue you for an exorbitant amount of money. I hope it's just a shit ton of money. And I hope you and I get some of that money back. Even if it's $5, I would feel good. Okay, I would feel good. So anyone supposedly, the way I look at this is it's going to start out with the DOJ suing them. Okay. And then there's going to be some massive attorney out there that's going to do a class action lawsuit with every person that has the Adobe CC from way back in the day when they made it so difficult to get out of it. And all of those people will have the ability to be part of this class action. This is what we're hoping for, guys. Anyways, I know I ranted into the Adobe thing. The other thing that we were talking about is, of course, SpaceX. And we were talking about the competitors seeing or smelling well, that's actually the Adobe. We're talking about SpaceX and how we see that a lot of these people that are competitors to SpaceX that are trying to get in the game, they really haven't been able to get into the game because they can't get rockets up there. Just recently we saw the Boeing, what is it called? The Starliner, right? It's leaking. What the hell is it leaking? I don't know. We just saw a leak, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. And we saw the RUD happen, or a rapid disassembly or unscheduled disassembly happen. The thing blew up, right? The Falcon 9. We'll talk about that also. But this Starliner with literally 2 astronauts on board is leaking, right? So I really thought that they were going to give Elon Musk and SpaceX the nod to go and rescue them. But Boeing's like, no. We can't have that. No rescue by Elon Musk, nothing. We're going to take care of this. We're going to get them down. They're going to stay up there for a few more weeks, maybe a month. I don't know. But we're going to analyze the situation, and we're going to bring those astronauts back. So I hope they do get them back safely. But if they feel like they don't, I hope, God willing, they have enough, or they don't have a large chip on their shoulder, kind of like, Bozo over there, Jeff, which we love, Bezos, large chip on their shoulder, and say, listen, Elon, help us out. Let's rescue these astronauts. And we'll see what ends up happening with that. But yes, as of today, I did this video and I talked about that Falcon 9 exploding. So anything that you want to talk about that, or the liner, the Starliner up there, or any of the Adobe stuff, let me know tonight. And once again, we're going to just casually hang out. So we started out this live stream with 99,915. That's what we started out with. And right now we have 99,931. So this little number that's going here is actually live. So you'll see people unsubscribe and you'll see them subscribe. It's not something that I just wrote there. It's actually live. So anyways, let's get into some of these questions. Let's see, Starfire 007. Starfire 007 says you can see some type of leak in the Mylar sheet puffing out Yeah, and they were talking about how this is 45 minutes later, unable to restart the engines. Starlink satellites are into lower orbit. Yeah. So, yeah, it says argon thrusters are weak, but they might be able to raise them to a higher orbit. And basically, I was doing the math on the video. Some people said that I was just completely wet behind the ears. I didn't know what I was talking about. Some people said that they agreed. I'm just speculating on that video on what I think was the cause of it just by looking at what we saw. That's it. I'm not a rocket scientist. We're just talking, right? Some people, they get so butthurt, they're just like, you're wrong and you don't know what you're talking about. It's like, I have to laugh because this is just like a commentary channel, right? We're just hanging out, having fun. I'm not CNN, damn it. Then again, they're wrong all the damn time, probably more wrong than I am. Anyways, that's for another video. So anyways, yes, Starfire, it's most likely a propellant leak. And what I said, it was probably LOX, LOX, which is your liquid oxygen, just by what it looked like when it was coming out. It was actually frosting up into chunks of ice, but then at one point, it was kind of pouring out. You can see it dripping out. That was a lot of liquid oxygen coming out of there, in my personal opinion. Anyways, let's see. Mo World, how are you doing? He said, let's see. It has to be liquid oxygen. Absolutely, I agree. Liquid oxygen can be heated up, hit the atmosphere, and the plasma could cause chemical breakdown. Yes. And he said thank you. And I do appreciate that. Congratulating me on the 99,900 subscriber, which is crazy. Maybe we're going to hit 10,000 while we're live. I don't know. We'll see. Tell your friends about the channel. Tell them to come and subscribe right now. Do it right now. So let me see. Peter, once again, thank you for being here. Love all the pink poop emojis. I love it. Absolutely love it. Once again, Fabiola, my wife, is not here. She is in Cali. Thank you for all of the well wishes to her. I noticed that you guys liked her new avatar there, her new picture. Let's see. Ricky Joe, how are you doing? Says, question. When that Falcon 9 rocket exploded, was it around 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning? Last night we heard 2 booms. Was that the rocket? That's a good question. I really don't know. And that's the thing too. That's one of the people that gave me some shit in the comments about my video today, which I'm okay with. We don't really know where it was above when it blew up. Was it above the States? Was it above the Atlantic Ocean? Was it above the Gulf? Was it on the other side of the world? I don't know. I really don't know. And the thing is when we watched it live, I was watching it, you can see the telemetry. Now, when you look at the telemetry is coming not from just one source. My understanding is the telemetry comes from 3 sources. Redundancy, right? You have to have redundancy. And watching the IFTs and all of the explosions that happen with the IFTs when they detonate, right? Either on purpose because something went astray and they used their detonation means to, what's the FTS or whatever it is, to detonate it, flight termination system. The telemetry stops. So let's say the altitude is at, let's say, I don't know, 130 kilometers, and the speed is at X, whatever it is. When that thing pops, telemetry stops right there. Nothing else. Doesn't go up, doesn't go down, speed doesn't change, nothing. And the question was it hours and hours later that this thing blew up, or was it when telemetry stopped? And I really don't know the answer to that. But I know it stopped at 8 minutes and 40 seconds into the flight. That was it. No more telemetry. And what they did is they popped over to the first stage of that Falcon 9 rocket, and they showed it landing on the back of the drone ship, right? But they never went back. They never went back to the Falcon 9, the upper half, right? So that being said, was there no more picture at that point? Because SpaceX usually they don't like mince anything. They show you what it is, and that's it. Like with the IFT-4, it melted the fin. They showed the entire thing until the camera couldn't even take it anymore, right? So I would imagine that they would continue showing that stage until it blew up. But they didn't. They just cut away. They never came back, and that was kind of the end of it. So I don't know. I don't know when it blew up. I really don't know. But in my personal opinion, I think it blew up right around the time when telemetry started or stopped, not 2 hours later. That's just what I think. Now, before I get into any more questions, I want to kind of give you a rationale to this, or why I say this. I was over on, let me see if I can bring this up. Is it here? Yeah, let me see if this will work. Does this work? Yes. Let's see. Here we go. So, if I go into here, this is the SpaceX SpaceX's X page, right? And we can see here SpaceX, the team right here, about, what does it say, 7 hours ago. It says the team made contact with 10 of the satellites and attempted to have them raise their orbit using their ion thrusters, but they are, this is important, they are in an enormously high drag environment with a perigee, or lowest point of their elliptical orbit, only at 135 kilometers above Earth. Now, in my video, I speculated that it blew up, or those satellites were released at around 135,000 kilometers to 140 kilometers. That's what I said in my video. They're kind of saying that that's exactly where they were released. And it just simply made sense because we were watching it happen. And I'm like, this is the time that they need to get those things get them going, get them out of there before something explodes, because it didn't look good, right? So when they opened up the fairing was at about 100,000 kilometers, 98,000 kilometers right on there. So not that far later, once again at 135,000 kilometers is when they released these satellites. Now they continue here 7 hours ago. Each pass through perigee removes 5+ kilometers of altitude from the highest point of the satellite's orbit. At this level of drag, our maximum available thrust is unlikely to be enough to successfully raise the satellites. That's exactly what I said in my video. I said, based on the height, the altitude that they are at, and knowing the power, let's say, or lack thereof, these ion thrusters, there is no possible way in my mind, not being a scientist here, right, or some type of engineer, right? So I just don't see it. I don't see how it's possible to be able to overcome the atmospheric drag and Earth's gravity. Not at 135 kilometers, which I guessed at when they released it. So once again here, that is clarifying and is giving validity that my guess was right on this. It says, as such, the satellites will re-enter Earth's atmosphere and fully demise. They will liquidate. They will turn into basically dust. They do not pose a threat to other satellites in orbit. Once again, they're very shallow. It's very low. Or to public safety, of course, because they're going to disintegrate. And then right now here, they're playing, and this is a July 4th thing. This is just a pinned whatever playing, but I'll just leave it sit there. Anyways, the gist of the matter is there is no way for any of these satellites to make it, all right? It's just not possible. There's too much drag to be able to overcome, and they're just not going to. That being said, is it bad? I was asking, do you think this is going to put a stain onto SpaceX? And I asked this not to be, kind of an ass about it, but as a means of just asking the question just to see what people thought. In my personal opinion, I didn't give the opinion in the video. My personal opinion, it will not. And the reason being is they are doing so many launches that you're going to have problems. So I don't think that this is a problem at all. This is a learning. If anything, it is a very good learning experience for them. And the reason being, it's an unmanned craft. They use these rockets to send men and women to like the ISS, the International Space Station. So this is good. It's not a bad thing. You lose 20 satellites, no friggin' big deal. You lose 2 lives, it's a big damn deal, right? So out of these 20 Just to let you know, if you didn't watch my video, 13 of those 20 were those direct to cell or DTS, DTC, direct to cell, no, direct to satellite, DTS satellites. Those are the ones that have the eNode Bs. eNode Bs are basically what makes the satellite into a cell tower, but at 530 kilometers instead of down the road from you. Okay. So this is a really, in my personal opinion, I think that this was an okay event. Was it great? No, you don't want to see these things fail ever, but it is a learning experience for them. Anyways, let's get back into some of these questions. If you guys have any questions, don't forget, like Peter says, put in at JCristina before the question, or just put a Q before the question. That is very helpful. Oh, wait a second. We got to say thank you to someone here. What is going on? You see, they're going to be popping. It pops up and then it just goes by so quick. Shannon, wow. Thank you so much. Wow. So we have Shannon with the super chat. This says the official non-purple hair super chat in honor of the MIA missing in action Fabiola. Thank you for that super chat. You know, super chats are always warmly welcome. Thank you for that so much. Thank you. And then Shannon did multiple free memberships. So check this out. David, you got a free membership from Shannon. You got City Twister HD, Harry, James, Moreau. You have our GSD Rules. You have Dano, as well as Travis and Blair. You guys all got free memberships from Shannon. So please say thank you. Please say thank you. And then another 10 came through from Shannon. I appreciate you. That is just so crazy. So we got Kevin, Radioactive Texan, Razzle, you have Mendel, and Example. I like that name. Example. You have Eric, Bailey, Edward, and Brian, and Frosty Delights. All got free memberships, once again, courtesy of Shannon. Once, say thank you. Say thank you twice. I would really appreciate that. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you so much. What are we at now? 99,935, guys. 99,935. We are getting there. Let me see. Question. Ricky Joe has a question. Says, when that Falcon 9 rocket explodes, was it 2 or 3? Oh, we answered that. That had to do with the location. Don't know the location. And I gave you a reason why. Fabiola gets on, says hello. Thanks. That is my beautiful wife. Once again, she's in Cali. She is not here. Peter, what is going on? Let's see. All right. Ricky Joe says 2-minute warning. Get ready, everyone. That was back before we even started. You can see how far back we have to go back. Oh my God. All right. Here we go. Sarah says hello from Chile. New Zealand. Hope you're both well. Thank you for that, Sarah. Fabiola, once again, she's over there in Cali. She's got, in California, you have that beautiful weather where it's like 73 all day, all night, 365 days a year. That's why everyone is there. Here in Florida right now, we have like the rain outside, the mucky nastiness, the heat. But that's just the way it is. Then in the winter, Florida is absolutely gorgeous. So, you kind of have to suffer with it. Let's see. Mo World says, my usual suspect have returned once again Friday nights. Yes, that is right. Sarah says, happy poop emoji. And we got the pink poop emojis. How did people do these pink poop emojis? I'd have to copy paste it. That's about it. Let me see if it even works. I'm going to do it. Does one go in there? No, it didn't even go in there. It just put in words. What is that? I don't know. Anyways, let's get into some of these questions. We're kind of moving down. Normally, Fabiola is going through them. So let's see. What do we have here? Janet says, hey, they're from Norton G. We are surviving a hurricane, and Starlink came through for us. Wow. So that is one of the great things, Janice, about the Starlink. Because even if I was to get fiber tomorrow, I would still continue my subscription to SpaceX Starlink. Not because I'm rich, because I'm not, because I believe in redundancy, right? And to have a non-terrestrial type of internet service and terrestrial, something on the ground compared to something in the air, in space, I think is just smart, right? I think redundancy is smart. I think prepping is smart. Even though I'm not a prepper, preparation it's just simply smart to do. So for me, having the two makes sense. So yeah, you had a hurricane blow through. Chances are you're probably out of power. And with the Starlink, you can run the damn thing on battery power. And now you still have full connectivity to be able to get out there and ask for help or check weather reports or check your local information or whatever you need to do. And you can do that once again on a battery with the SpaceX Starlink. Whereas if you had fiber and you got hit with this hurricane and the power went out, guess what? Your fiber is out too. So once again, redundancy, redundancy, redundancy. David says, hello from Hurricane Zone in East Texas. Dishy is fine. T-Mobile, not so much. Yeah. You see how that works? Yeah. And it's funny, you say T-Mobile. I'm right now broadcasting on T-Mobile and Starlink. Now, sometimes I'll just only broadcast on Starlink. Sometimes I will bond the two together and I'll broadcast on both. And that's what I'm doing right now. Packet-based, right? Not session-based. Packet-based bonding. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is because I see a rainstorm is coming in. Dishy doesn't like rain. Doesn't like really thick, dense clouds. So T-Mobile doesn't mind them as much, especially with that big MIMO 4x4 antenna that I have outside of the studio. It picks up the LTE signal, not 5G, LTE signal, no problem. So yeah, let's see, moving on. Butch, how you doing? My Starlink did really well during the hurricane. Awesome, awesome. I'm glad everyone is okay with that hurricane. Luckily, it was a smaller hurricane. What was like a Cat 2? Let me know in the comments. What did it end up hitting shore? I think it was coming in at a Cat 1. I think it ended up, they were saying Cat 2. I think it was Cat 1. But either way, let me know, which isn't too bad. I mean, when I say not too bad, because I'm down here in South Florida, we get hit with crazy. I was down in South Florida during Hurricane Andrew. The worst hurricane like recorded to man. I don't know. It was a Cat 5. It was nasty. It uprooted everything. It was just horrible. Absolutely horrible. Cat 5. Anyways, let's see. Let's see. The Dob Pod says, okay, so why can't Starlink for residential folks be offered the mini or something where they can have roaming unlimited? At an extra price. Seems now if I'm residential, pay the $120 and I want unlimited to roam. Yeah. So it's a problem. I personally, people ask me all the time, I'm in an RV, what should I get? Should I get a Generation 3 or should I get the latest and greatest mini, right? So that I can roam. Now, if you already have, remember, you cannot get a mini unless you already have a Gen 3, Gen 2, Gen 1, right? Because it's an additive. It's not a standalone. So your Starlink mini being an additive, they charge you $30 a month on top of your $120 for residential, and then you have to buy the gear. And the buy the gear is like $599, $600. So, in my personal opinion, as of right now, I would probably hold off on getting the mini. I hate to say it. And the reason being, it's just simply too dear. $600 for that equipment is wrong. All right. I said before this thing even come out, I said it should be $199 to $249. That should be the price and not a penny more. Now, will they lower it to that price? Maybe. You know, I've been known to be right every once in a while. So we'll see what ends up happening. But $600? That's crazy. $30 a month? I don't mind that if it was unlimited, just like your residential. But when it's $30 a month, on top of your 120, and then when you use the mini and you take it out, you only get 50 gigs, and then you pay $1 per gig after or whatever it is, it's a problem. And when I did a video talking about this and I asked you guys what you guys thought, and you said the exact damn same thing that I said. It's just a simple problem. So we'll see what ends up happening with this. I suggest people just use their Starlink with their roam plan, whatever it comes to is $150 a month, which is going to be the same price, and then take your current unit that you have, take it out with you on that roam. And the thing is now you have unlimited access, period. Unlimited. You don't have to worry about that 50 gigabytes of data, and that's it. Whenever you limit people, they're constantly on edge. Oh, did I use too much? Let me check it. Did I use too much here? Let me check it. Are the kids doing too much? They just look at a video? Did they download a 4K video? Are they playing a game? Let me check it. It's just much, right? That angst all the time. I'm not a fan of that. So in my personal opinion, use a Generation 3, plug it into your Jackery or your Blue Yeti or whatever you have or whatever it is, your battery backup, and call it a day for right now until they adjust the pricing. But I just heard also 2 days ago, instead of it's only being certain people that have the ability to buy or to get involved in the SpaceX Starlink mini program, now everyone can get it, which is cool. So if it's something that you want to do, then go ahead and do it. But my suggestion is just wait a little bit. Just wait a little bit. I think it's going to drop. I just don't see it being that price for very long. I could be wrong. Let's see. What else do we have here? John's talking to David. We got Jack saying hello with his poop emojis. Always love it. Hello. You great hosts and moderators. Hope you are all going good this Saturday morning from Southern Australia. Wow, Saturday morning. Question. Do you have any updates on the Starlink to phones? So yes, Starlink to phone. In the US, the DTS service, direct to satellite service, will be available to T-Mobile. T-Mobile customers before the end of the year. Rogers customers, which would be in in Canada, probably around the same time, maybe into the beginning of next year. In your country, in Australia, I don't know. I am not sure. I haven't heard any information as far as when that's going live. Normally, what SpaceX does is they beta test everything with us here in the US, right? Something new comes out, they give it to us. So if it breaks, we return it to them, and they're in Texas or in California. It's a quick ship instead of sending it across the world, right? So they use us as beta testers. And then, of course, they also give us the shit end of the stick because we pay the most of any other country on the planet for the service as well as the hardware. That's just the way it is. And you know what? I kind of don't mind it because honestly, SpaceX has been a godsend to my family, who was suffering for about 15, 20 years with the most shittiest AT&T UVerse and DSL crap-ass service ever. And the funny thing is, we were getting 15 megabits down and 1.5 megabits up for all of this time. And that's using 2 connections, bonding them together to be able to get those amazing fast speeds, right? They just raised the price by $5. The cojones of AT&T to do that is just sad and pathetic, right? They raised it $5. So, yeah. Anyways, no love lost for AT&T. They're another one of those companies, just like Adobe, that something happens with them monetarily. I really don't care. I'm okay with it. I'm happy to see it. Let's say. Let's see. Michael says, glad to see Adobe in the hot seat. Hopefully, gym memberships are next. That's an interesting statement. Gym memberships are another one like Adobe. They ding you every single month if you go or if you don't go. They know that you're not going to cancel because you forget about it and you're just constantly paying in perpetuity for years and years. You're like, holy shit, I haven't been to when was the last time I was at the gym? And you're like, it's been 6 months, but you've been paying on time because they just suck it out of your account. And then if you want to cancel with the gym folks, the gym local to me, you're going to love this. What they did is instead of just calling someone and say, listen, I need to cancel. Nope. No. You actually have to go there, get a form, a physical form, fill it out, and then mail it to their corporate office to cancel your gym membership. I don't know about you guys. That sounds like a lawsuit to me, right? But I don't have the money to do it, but hopefully someone does. But yeah, this is what the gyms do. They make it so hard, just like Adobe, for you to get out. They just do. So yeah, I agree with you 110% there, Michael, on the gym memberships. Kevin says, hi guys, happy Friday. Phil, did those Starlink ion thrusters work? Phil, they did not, and they're not going to work. we're going to see some fireworks, some fireworks of those 20 satellites soon. I think it was, what did they say? It was 5 kilometers drop or something. It is every time they reach parity. Anyways, yeah, it shouldn't be too long. It shouldn't be too long. We'll see the fireworks show. Let's see. What are we at? I'm doing a call out. 99,941 subscribers. Are we going to hit 100,000 on this live? Are we going to do it, guys? Are we going to do it? I don't know. Depends on how long I'm going to be here. God, it's been an hour already? Holy crap. Has it been an hour? I don't know. It's been a while. Stay on me here. Let me know so I don't go on forever, because I don't have my wife to kick me. And that means that I'll do these run-on things and rant and that kind of stuff. So if you're not into that, I understand if you leave. Don't leave. But if you do leave, give the video a thumbs up before you leave. Do it now. Thumbs up. Let me see. Let's see. Wendy says, I edit with a DaVinci Resolve, or DaVinci. I love it. Absolutely. Absolutely love it. I'll be talking about DaVinci very soon. Very soon. Hang in there. If I pass by your questions, just re-ask them. The reason being is this thing is jumping around like it does all the time. Horrible. Shannon just popped up. Let me see. Did Shannon just pop up? Shannon did pop up. Holy God. Another 10 memberships from Shannon. If you are David or, let me see, Tom, Steven, Arnie, let's see, who else? Craig, Marcus, I Hate You. I love that. That's a great name. I Hate You. And Jack, Morgan, and let me see, 7 Spleefs. You just received a free membership from Shannon. Say thank you so much to Shannon. Thank you, Shannon. Really do appreciate everything you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very much. And Shannon did another super chat. It says, I have to bail early. 100,000 subscribers coming soon. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Thank you for that. Thumbs up to you. Hearts all over that. Shannon, thank you for being here. Thank you for all that you've done with all of these lives, with the channel, sending me over email. I didn't forget. Anyways, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you and everything that you do. Let me see. We're filtering back up. We're going back up. And Martin, thank you for that super chat. I see Martin. That's Martin D. Turner. He has like the little the little dancing dude. I love it. That's awesome. All right, let me see. Going down, I got to go through some of these questions quick, because if not, I'm going to fall way behind. All right, let's kind of go down. Let me see. Once again, put a Q before the question so it stands out. If not, I'm going to blow through it. John says, Ellie in space takes to someone they knew, or talks to someone that they knew, that it was, I forgot what they said. John, reword that, John. That's John Wolf. Let's know what Ellie had to say. What did she say? What did Ellie say? What did she say? Or what did her friend say? I want to hear it. Great channel that she has over there. Ellie in Space, really good coverage on SpaceX stuff as well as Tesla stuff. She does a great job. I really like, every once in a while I get a chance. Half the time I don't get a chance to watch other videos, because I'm reading all the time and doing content and doing all the rest of the work that I'm doing as far as the merch and the products that I'm creating and the stuff that I'm patenting for the photo community and all that stuff. So, but yeah, she does a great job. Definitely take a look at her stuff. Let me see here. Welsh and Son Farms. So did they leave you alone as they stay the cats away from the mice will play? Absolutely, they left me alone. It's just me. It's me and you guys hanging out. Once again, if you have a question, put AQ before the question, or at JCristina. Makes it easier for me to find. Shannon says you're all welcome. That's really, really nice. Once again, Shannon had to take off, but thank you so much for all that is done. Petrie says, make new accounts, everyone. Don't do that. That's the one thing. People said, there was a comment that I read, matter of fact, just yesterday. They said, that's all you have to do is just buy accounts. Buy subscribers. It's easy. You pay X number of dollars and you get subscribers. And I always said that I would never, ever, ever even contemplate that, because why would you just want a number if there's not meat and potatoes behind the number? It's just absolutely foolish, right? Those people aren't going to be watching your stuff. They're fake. They're fake numbers, Yeah, maybe some advertiser will be like, oh, yeah, look, you have 200,000 subscribers. Well, 100,000 of them are fake. And I found a lot of channels that have done that. And the thing is the curve goes like this, right? They go like this. They're like a burning, like a light bulb that's on, that 50-watt light bulb that's turned on 500, and it just goes, and that's what happens. And then they're done. Because this whole ramp up and all these people that are fake and all of these sponsors that come aboard, they end up leaving because they find out that there's nothing behind it. It's all fake. Whereas with you guys, the 100,000 of you almost, right? You're all real, right? And that's a blessing to me, an absolute blessing. And I thank everyone for being here. Let's see, Atomic Nukes and Bees. Who's going to kick you? No one, and I kind of like it. Maybe Fabiola will do some virtual kicks. I haven't got down to the bottom. I don't know if she's been in or out or not. I'm kind of scrolling through as I'm falling way behind. Robert says nothing is 100% guaranteed. They lost the payload. The thing with SpaceX and Elon's, they always learn from their failures to get better. And they will get better replaced. Yes, 110%. That's the difference between Elon Musk, SpaceX, and NASA, for example. What NASA does in 10 years, Elon Musk and SpaceX does in 10 months or even sooner. Because they iterate, innovate, blow shit up, iterate. That's just how it is. They love blowing shit up. They're very happy to blow shit up because that means that they can iterate faster. And then finally innovate to make things anew. And that's one of the things that they're working on right now, and that's why we did not see the IFT-5 yet. Originally, that IFT-5 was supposed to launch right around maybe the 15th is what I was speculating. Now, I believe Elon Musk is saying that it's going to go at the very beginning of August. And that makes sense, and the reason being, why? Because they're having to rethink the heat tiles. So they have some kind of underlayment or something that's going underneath the heat tiles, almost as a double shielding, almost as a double, like a protective to the protection, right? Once again, redundancy. So if a tile pops off, you're not going to have a catastrophic event because there's still redundancy there. There's still that underlayment that is still going to protect the stainless steel of the ship. Because we saw what happens when the plasma gets involved with the stainless steel, it starts melting, like what happened in the last launch. So anyways, moving on, as normal, I can feel it already. See, she's virtually kicking me because I went on and I ranted. I'm sorry, guys. Hang in there. If you have a question, once again, put it down below. Sarah says, JC, how many millions would those Starlink satellites cost now that that they've blown up? They are millions. They are definitely millions. So I don't know what the exact cost of a Starlink satellite is. The old ones, I think they were like $1 million or $2 million. I don't know. But the new ones, remember, these are version 2 minis. I don't know what the cost of those are. So I'm sure it's not cheap. The entire process was a $10+ million screw up. But it's going to happen. It's going to absolutely happen. Eric says, question. If the next Starship launch and landing is successful, will following launches have payloads? That is a really good question. I love that question, Eric. And the answer is no. I just don't think so. I think that they're going to have to land this thing with the Mechazilla, as I call them, like the chopsticks, right? They're going to have to land that perfectly. They're going to have to land the Super Heavy perfectly. The Super Heavy, that's a no-brainer. Now, Starship was a problem. It literally landed like many kilometers away. It did land upright. It didn't have to splash down belly first. It landed upright. That's with like one of the fins like barely hanging on because it melted. But the Super Heavy, the lower half, ended up landing perfectly, exactly where it was supposed to land. So that's going to be able to come home without a problem. I think the Starship, they'll probably land it in the ocean again. They're not going to try to bring it back home, I don't think. But the Super Heavy, they might try to catch the damn thing in the salad tongs or the Mechazilla arms, whatever you want to call it. So We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I would like to see, like you said, a single satellite get shot out the Pez dispenser. I think that would be awesome, right? On the next one. Because chances are, they made it around the world once, they can make it around the world again. And if that's the case, launch out a single satellite, launch something out. The only problem that I have with it is I'm not sure at the altitude which they are going around the planet during these tests, if it's going to be high enough, once again, to be able to push through the atmospheric drag as well as gravity. So probably they're not going to try it. And if they do, it'll be kind of like a dummy satellite, not a real one, just something that will burn up really quickly, just to test out the payload door once again and the Pez dispenser and make sure that it can actually throw out those satellites properly. But we'll see. But that's a really good question. Let's see. All right. Moving along. Once again, if I missed your question, there's so many. I probably just, if you didn't put a Q before it, it makes it really difficult for me to find. Once again, put a Q or JCristina. Ricky Joe says, my aunt in Michigan got AT&T fiber at her new place yesterday. She ordered it for her self-installed, but couldn't find fiber jack, so called the tech. They came and found her fiber cable hidden under the carpet. You gotta love it. That's what ends up happening. They give you these do-it-yourself kits, and sometimes you can't do it yourself. That's just simply the way it is. Atomic Nuke says, I have 2 accounts because my main name account will not let me comment. What the hell is that? I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Someone hates you over there at YouTube. Why can't you comment? That's just weird. That's really weird. Jack Morgan says, I got 3 Gmail accounts for multiple reasons. Yeah, I have a lot of Gmail accounts also, but I don't use it for anything specific. Let me see here. Ricky Joe says, so the install and the jack can cost her $100 for the tech fee. Ay, for the fiber. Unbelievable. Let's see. Peter says, it is not like China where the rocket and engines for back down to Earth explode. Yeah. You know what? I tell you what, Peter. China just lost another rocket. What was it, like yesterday? The day before? They keep blowing shit up, right? So I guess they're iterating as much as Elon Musk is. I don't know. Guys, China is trying to catch up with SpaceX Starlink, and I don't see them being able to do it. I just don't. They're going to try, and they're going to try their best. They're going to try their hardest, but the only thing that really helps them out is that they don't have like an FAA, an FCC, a Fish and Wildlife, and all the rest of these 3-letter organizations that are constantly giving them shit. They will launch a rocket. The thing will blow up literally 5,000 feet in the air, come crashing down to the ground and level like the entire place there. Don't know if anyone's on the ground or even care. Whoever was on the ground is incinerated. And they're just like, clean up on aisle 4, and then they just go do it again. Here, it's like, holy shit. I think we might have possibly destroyed a blade of grass, and there was like 3 fish that I saw. They didn't look too well, right? They weren't spawning properly. They weren't mating. There was a problem with this other rodent or something. So this is what happens here in the U.S., and it makes it more difficult for us to move forward, but yet Elon Musk still has. With over, 6,100 satellites now in orbit, and 50% of those satellites are the version 2s, the ones that have the lasers built on, forming that massive, massive mesh network around the entire planet. People don't understand. I know a lot of you that have been with me for a long time. If you're new, trust me when I say this mega constellation that will be all connected via satellite laser communications, this is the biggest shit ever. Like, literally, it is the biggest thing that you will remember, like, in your lifetime. It will make for communication to be spontaneous. I mean, when I say spontaneous, I mean spontaneous. Because remember, lasers, communication, right, using lasers, in a vacuum of space is faster by, 40%? By a good degree faster than the light or a laser going through a fiber optic cable on ground, on Earth, terrestrially. So, that being said, eventually, I've always said this, I think that there'll be some type of means of making this mesh network and having a NOC or Network Operations Center or some type of CO, central office in space that kind of acts as like a hub, right? The router for all of these APs, for all of these access points, which are those satellites, and it controls everything. So if I need to send a message to someone in China, and I'm sitting here in Florida, right? Eventually what will happen is the message will go to my dishy, or as I call him, Mr. Bevel. It will shoot that message into a satellite overhead, which takes around 4 to 5 milliseconds, if you didn't know. That's round trip, just to get the acknowledgement packet back. We won't get into all that techie shit. Anyways, shoot it to that satellite, and then bounce that satellite from satellite to satellite to satellite to satellite till it gets over China, and then straight down to the ground. The speed at which that can happen in comparison to fiber, once again, will probably be 50% faster. So, this is going to be a big, big, big thing. Anyways, we can get into a lot more of that. Let me get into some of these questions. Once again, I'm falling behind, as I always do, because I don't have my wife kicking me in the shins. Let's see. Moving on. John says, Mexico Starlink status. I really don't know. I have not heard anything about Mexico and the status going on over there. David, they haven't shown satellite deployment in a long time. They always end after the landing. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know what's going on with that. I know that the IFT-5 that launches is going to have even more cameras. So when that does launch and I go live, we're going to be able to see a lot more detail on what's going on with that flight. So that's exciting to me. Let's see. Michael says, Florida, the only place I've been that you get steamy windows on the outside of the glass while the AC is on in the car. 100% correct. It is so humid. You point that AC, you point it at a window, the whole window is completely fogged. You can't see anything. And the fog is absolutely on the outside. Let's see. Moving on. John says, hit the smelly faces. Love it. What are we at? 99,952 subscribers. We got 48 subscribers to go. I'm wondering if I should stay live. What do you guys think? Should I stay live until we hit 100,000? Even if my eyes are like this? Down below. What do you think? Let's see. Moving on. Kevin says, question. What are you using to bond? Something like a Peplink or a third-party service. So, for bonding, Kevin, I do two things. Number one, we use a Peplink, a Balance 20 or the Balance 30s. They work out really good. A few other Peplinks. I like the Peplink product. They do a really good job. That is hardware bonding. If I need to bond 2, 3, 4 systems together, ISPs together, that's what I use, packet-based. If I want to bond just on a computer like I'm doing now, I use a piece of software called Speedify. And that allows me to also bond, but using software, once again, at a packet base, not a session base. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about with that. So those are the two that I'm using currently. I like the hardware because it allows the bonding to happen throughout everything. But when I'm going live on this computer, instead of going through the hardware, I could just do it right on the computer and then tell it exactly which ones I want to do. Like right now, I'm using T-Mobile and SpaceX Starlink. I'm not using the AT&T piece of crap that I have in there and all the rest of the stuff. I don't need it. So, moving on. Let's see. What do we got here? If you have a question, once again, put a Q before the question. Or at JCristina. Let's see. Question for Peter says, we have much rain right now, and it is continuing to rain until Sunday. Wow, that's a lot of rain. And then where we live in Denmark, we're getting 80 to 100 millimeters of rain in a couple of hours. That's a lot of rain. Holy God. So Denmark is basically flooding right now. Peter Stay drive. Stay with us. Stay with us. If you have to go, I understand. Let's see. 99,954. I'm not going to look anymore. I'm not going to look. What are we down to? Yeah, what is it? 46? Now we're down to, we just went up one. We're down to 45 people left, guys. 45 people. My Starlink, let's see. This is from video. Let's see. Viralis. My Starlink service goes off very soon as rain starts. Is it normal? I'm in Honduras, and we have heavy rains and storms very often from July to November. I feel you. And in Honduras, it rains a lot. Here in Florida, it's probably the same damn weather because Florida is the peninsula, but it's like an island. So we're sitting in the middle of the ocean, right? Like 700 miles in the middle of the ocean is where we are. I'm probably about 500 miles. Anyways, I digress. The answer is yes. Rain fade is a thing when it comes to SpaceX Starlink. It sucks, but it just is. Now, what I've heard from you guys in my email, because my email box gets flooded from you guys all the time, but I appreciate each and every one of you. The new generation, right? The Generation 3 router with the new dish, the latest and greatest dish, the new one with the little kickstand. People are getting a little bit less rain fade. They're also getting faster speeds, documented faster speeds. And they're getting about 1 millisecond faster when it comes to latency. So if you have the money and you don't mind spending that money, getting the new kit is probably not a bad idea. You're going to get a little bit better speed, once again, a little bit better latency, and you're going to get a little bit better rain fade, just slightly. Now, if you have a lot more money than $299, $399, whatever it is in your country, you can spend $2,500 for the business class version, which is a square, like 22 inches by like 21 inches. The big ass one is what I call it. Now that one gets it does really well with rain fade. It's almost non-existent. For some reason, it's just maybe it's bigger. It has more little nodules, more nodes to pick up the antenna, bigger antenna. That's what I would say if you need it. So it depends on what your price point is. Buying the latest one, you're going to get better on all three fronts. Not that, that much better, but still better. But if you go business class, you're going to get extremely much better when it comes to rain fade. So I just haven't had the means or the wherewithal to go and spend $2,500, or I would have done that already. Maybe someone would like to donate one. I would love to have one and test it out. Let's see. Mo's talking back and forth. Moving on. John says 65 subs left to go. Yes. We're getting closer. We're in the 40s now, John. We're in the 40s. Mo says, I might say Mo said to Kevin, mixed bag at the moment, at least recovering. Thank you. That's really pretty. I'm glad that everything is starting to get better, especially in Texas with that hurricane. We have family in Texas, but they're inland far enough that they just got like a little weather. And that's about it, rain, a little bit of wind, nothing crazy. The coastline, they got hit a little bit harder. Let's see. Moving on. Once again, put a Q before the question so I can see it. Ricky Joe says, anyone else having buffering? I don't know. Is anyone having buffering? Let's see what Speedify is saying. Here, I will stick it here. Let's see. Let's do it, right? Let's do it. There you go. Remember I was talking about my Speedify connection? Well, there you go. We are currently bonding. We're streaming redundantly out of a Miami server, all right, for 1 hour and 18 minutes. And those are the speeds. We're getting on the Ethernet, which is Starlink, we're getting about 2 to 4 megabits per second up. T-Mobile, we're getting about 2 to 4 megabits up also. So we're streaming at about, let's call it, close to 7.5 to 8 megabits upload on this current stream. And according to what we're seeing here with the visual, this little diagram, everything's copacetic. We're not seeing any outages at all. Everything is looking good. So this is what it looks like on my side. So hopefully that helps, especially with that question on what I use for bonding. That's what I'm using currently. And of course, once again, we do have the hardware version of bonding also, and that's with the PEP link. Balance 20, balance 30. Let's see, moving on. Michael says, what do you think about a satellite being able to get signal and some things, or sometimes you can even see sometimes you can even see the cell tower and not get signal. Technology is really magic. Yes. And that is, a lot of people say that too, right? They're like, okay, we have a cell tower down the road and I'm getting absolute horrible service from the cell tower that's literally, a kilometer away, 2 kilometers away. And so how am I going to get cell phone service from 530 kilometers away in space? Power. That's basically it. The amount of power that is required. And let's say each one of those satellites direct their energy in a certain node, and that's what they focus on, right? And they send the energy down, right? The RF, the radio frequency. Some people have said also that this system will also work indoors, underneath a roof. How that's possible to me is absolutely baffling, but it's working. Elon Musk did a demo. He was testing it out, and he did a live, and he was using his phone, okay? He was doing a live on X, only using the satellite, and that is it. Now, he was getting anywhere from 14 to 17 megabits download speed. Upload is pretty slow. So the actual visual of it was kind of pixelated. It didn't look fantastic, but it was okay, let's say. But it was a little bit pixelated. But I would expect that, right? This is something that doesn't supposed to be available for 2 years. 2024, by the end of 2024, that DTS service will be available. Once again, T-Mobile. But it's only going to be texting. By 2025, it's going to move into doing voice calls. So at that point, you'll be able to pick up the phone. Doesn't matter where you are on the planet. You can have no cell tower, and you'll be able to make a connection to a satellite. So now your unmodified phone turns into a sat phone. Imagine all of these sat companies just going out of business because of this. If you've been around for a while, sat phones used to be $1,000 more, right? The service, $1,000 plus, They finally came down to the hundreds. But anyways, they're basically gone with SpaceX Starlink. It's over. Anyways, the next thing is 2026, and that's when you'll be able to do video, according to what they're saying. Maybe it's going to prove to be faster than this, but I don't know. But he just did video. Once again, 2 years prior to it actually going live. And it worked. Didn't look great, but it worked. Let's see. Let's go into any other questions here. What do we have? Jeff says, oh, JC, our AT&T Uverse, or Uworst, I love that. That's exactly what it is, was at download of 5 megabits and an upload of 0.75 at most. Yeah. So that your 0.75 upload speed, I was getting 1.5. Why? Because I was getting 0.75. It doubled, is 1.5, right? Because they had to bond 2 damn lines together just to be able to give me that. So, yeah. Uworst is, Uverse and the DSL that came before it, complete shit. And they never upgraded it. They never did nothing with it. Absolutely nothing. They went straight fiber, and now what they're doing is, if you're an AT&T customer, they're like, well, we're not going to give AT&T we don't provide AT&T Uverse or AT&T DSL in any type of copper service in your area. You have to use our AT&T Internet Air. Basically, you have to use our towers. So they give you a little router that's a connector, once again, to a tower like T-Mobile does with their T-Mobile home internet and the Verizon home internet. Same exact thing. AT&T did it now, and they're doing away with all of their copper. This is how it works, guys. They're moving along, and they're trying to figure out how to make more money by doing as little as they can do. That's what they do. That is exactly what they do. Planet Earth says, Adobe, Boeing, any corp, all the same. I don't know about any corp, but there's a lot of corps that are really bad. Really bad. Adobe is absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. I dealt with them for 20 plus years. Let's see. Ricky Joe says, or you can change your debit card or credit card and file. Oh, okay. You're talking to them up there. Let's see. Moving down. God, it jumped. Why does it do that? Don't jump. Let's see. See, this is what happens. This is what happens. All right. We're going to just kind of scroll down here. If I miss a question, put it in there. Put it in there again, because it did the thing that it does to Fabiola, my wife. It just jumps to the bottom just haphazardly just because. And I feel her pain. I know. It's horrible. It's annoying. Let's see. Flying Pretzel comes in with a super chat. Thank you very much. Says greetings from Texas. The Fam Jam says hello. That's awesome. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Does SpaceX have insurance on those satellites? I really don't know. That's a good question. That Mo World asked, does it have insurance? I don't know. I really don't know. Let's see. Moving down. I like those emojis of the goats. I like the goats. What are we at, guys? 99,960. We need 40 more subscribers. Calling in all troops. Put the channel over there on Facebook. Put it on Reddit. Put it on Discord. Put it somewhere. Get some people in here. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you are, at least thumbs up the video. Come on. Thumbs it up. We need more thumbs ups. That helps. That helps out a lot. Let's see. Tom says Fab definitely keeps his answers short. You see what I mean? JC can ramble. I appreciate that, Tom, and I'm sure Fabiola appreciates that too. She definitely wrangles me in. It's kind of like cats, right? Kind of like cats. I have that ADD shit. So it's like I just, I'm kind of everywhere. So for me to focus is not always the easiest thing for me. Not the easiest thing. But we all have problems, right, guys? We all have problems. Shannon says, question, JC, I saw on the news last night that Boeing Starliner crew are now in space indefinitely until they can find a way to fix the damn thing. Is that really the case, Sarah? Really? Could you imagine? You're like Boeing. You're like, okay, guys, we flew you up there. We don't know how to get you down, but we want you guys to research it more so we can figure out how to fix it. And the only way that we can figure this out is if you research it more. So we're going to leave you there indefinitely stranded. As long as you have oxygen and enough food, it might be another month or I don't know. But you guys figure it out, okay? Because we don't know what we're doing down here. We hope that you can figure out what the hell's leaking and why it's leaking so that we can fix it on a follow-up mission. Until then, hang tight, guys. Hang tight. We're not calling Elon to come and rescue you guys. We're not doing it. I love all these emojis. I love it. Jeff says 99,900 subscribers. Damn good job, JC. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Man, you're the reason we got Starlink. We can't thank you enough. I appreciate that, John. I'm so glad to be of some assistance. And it's always good to hear people that actually get some use out of the nonsense that I talk here. Let's see. Mo said, this is why you said due to space race, I do think that we will see WW3. I hope not. Let's not talk about WW3. God, things are just, you watch the news. Don't watch the news, guys. Just close your eyes until November. Make believe nothing happens, right? Just close your eyes. Just think wonderful thoughts, right? Maybe not. Maybe not, guys. Maybe not. John says they're thinking, well, there's another 6.9999 billion people. Acceptable loss. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Video says, oh, I got that. Had to do with the rain. Yes, we talked about the rain. Got that. Moving down. See, I'm trying to go quick. Can I? Probably not. Here's another question in here. Phil the Brit. I like that. Phil the Brit says, do you have any pets? I have a 9-year-old Yorkshire Terrier. You know what? Yorkshire Terrier is beautiful, cute dog. And she's awesome. Yes, we had a little dog called Nino. And he was a little Chihuahua, 3 pounds. Little like apple head. cutest damn thing. He passed away a few years back. It was really, really sad. And Fabiola and myself decided really just we didn't want to take on the responsibility and the sadness of losing another dog just yet. So I don't know. Maybe down the road we'll get another one. But for right now, the freedom of not having an animal, not that my son doesn't have just a shit ton of animals, but anyways, not having a dog to contend with is, it's kind of like a blessing. Yeah, we definitely miss our little mutt for sure. Let's see. Yeah, I asked, should I stay live? And everyone said, yes, stay live until 100,000. Guys, what are we at? 99,964. We're getting there. We are getting there. All right. If you guys want me to stay live until then, I'm going to do it. If I fall over, Fab's not here. She would already pulled me out with the hook, right? Pulled me out of here. Let's see. It's not too bad. Over here, we're at 943. We'll hang in there for a bit. See if we actually hit the 100,000 while we're live. That would be kind of cool. Can you imagine hitting 100,000 live? This was not, once again, expected. This was not expected. I don't know. This month, let me see, 3,500 new subscribers this month. Normally, a month is about 12 to 1,500 for this channel. So it's just really exploded. And, it's you guys. I know. You guys have been sharing it and doing all of your things. I know it. Honey Badger's here. Thank you, Honey Badger, for being here. It says, is that you, Fabiola? It actually was up there. She was in the chat. She's working. She's in California. And she can't be with us, obviously, today. That's why you just have my ugly mug. And we're celebrating our 100,000th. And I think what I'm going to do is, obviously, since this came unexpectedly, I was actually going to plan something for 100,000 for September. It was when I did the math. The math didn't work. I was supposed to get to 100,000 if everything looked the way it looked for the entire year by September, by my birthday. So I was going to plan something to do something. And then I'm looking at it and I'm like, this week, I'm like, 1,000, then another 1,000, and then another 1,000. We're at 3,400 so far. And I'm like, holy shit. Now what do we do here? We're going to end up hitting 100,000. I got nothing planned. So I put out a video to all of the members out there. I'm like, what should I do? So they gave me a lot of great information. So I think what I'll do is I'll probably do something special for 100,000 when the plaque comes. I don't know when it comes. Do any of you guys know? I don't even know. I didn't even research it. Once again, I thought this wasn't going to happen for months. But whenever the plaque comes, I'll do like an opening and we'll do some kind of giveaway and just something else. We'll do something for the 100,000, even though maybe it'll be, maybe 105 by then. I don't know. I really don't know. We'll see. Once again, if you guys know, let me know. How long does it take for a plaque to come? Or how do we get it? I don't even know. I know nothing about it. Let's see. Honey Badger says, wow. You are in great support of JC as usual, even when you're physically not with him. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. She's there. She's definitely there for me. We're there for each other. I mean, we've been married for many, many, many decades. For real. Let's see. Peter. If you're going to stay on the live, I need to get off around 2 hours. There you go. So we're on right now for, what are we on for? Let me see, Peter. We're on for 1 hour and 30. So you got half an hour left. I understand if you have to go. We're getting there. We are down to, let's see, we're at 99,967. We are getting there. We are getting there. Let's see. Rick just said if you're up to staying until you hit 100,000, but maybe midnight before you get to get off. Well, hopefully not. We'll see. Share this video with everyone. Share the channel with everyone. Tell them to subscribe. Tell them we need to get off, right? We need to go to sleep. Kevin says, Mo, world, Peter would be great. Appreciated if you're early AM. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Peter, time over there is in the AM. For us, we're sitting at 9:30 or so p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eric says, JCristina, you could do one of those Jerry Lewis style marathons and get those other 48 subscribers. You can do it. Right? Remember Jerry Lewis? Man, I guess you have to be older to know who Jerry Lewis is. Funny as hell. Funny. Those Jerry Lewis marathons, used to look forward to them every year. Used to raise money for the children. It was just, he ended up being an amazing guy, absolutely amazing guy. He made his money almost on the backs of these children, making fun of people with the disabilities, right? And he paid it back 1,000-fold with all of those Jerry Lewis marathons. So if you guys know it or not, but he did. So anyways, moving on. Let's see. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Put them in the chat below. If you guys need to get off for any reason, thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Before you leave, throw the video a thumbs up. That's always helpful. If you want to hang out with me, do so. If you have any questions, put them in the chat and put that Q before the question or JCristina. It makes it easier for me to find. I see. I should have had a drink, right? I should have had some of my Kraken, right? Some really nice dark rum, something special. God. It is what it is. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Let's see. Moving on. Once again, if you have a question, put a Q before your question. Sarah says, question, JC. I see on the news late last night. I read that one. That was from before. That's when it jumped. I read that one. Okay, all right. See, like I said. And Fabiola is on there at 9:30, so she was there about, 20 minutes ago. That just shows you how far behind this thing is. Wow. Yeah, see? And it just jumps, and it jumps around. All right. Kevin, thank you for that super chat. Kevin says, thanks for the bonding information and the demo. No problem. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Dr. Stu, thank you for being a premium sub, a premium member. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Thank you. All those super chats are always welcome. Really helpful. Really helpful. Let me see. Where did we leave off? Now we jumped around. If I didn't answer your question right now, put it down below. And if I answer it twice, it's okay. But definitely put it down below. Scott Cook says 40 more. Is it 40? We're down to 30. No, we're down to 31, guys. 31 subscribers left. And we hit 100,000. Holy shit. 100,000. I can't even believe it. That number is just crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. There's trophies, all kinds of stuff. We miss Fabiola, Janice says. Yes, I miss Fabiola too. That would be nice if she was here. I know she wanted to be here with me. I can't believe that we're actually going to end up hitting that 100,000, and she's not going to be here for it. But it is what it is. Planet Earth says, Boeing, slap some Elmers and some tinfoil and no more leak, guys. No more leak. Yeah. I don't know. If you are up there and you're an astronaut and you have a leak on your ship, and the people that are running the whole damn show are like, yeah, we're going to leave you there forever. We're going to leave you there until you figure out what the problem is indefinitely, and then we'll either rescue you or we'll figure out how to fix the problem. In my personal opinion, if there's a leak, chances are they're not going to fix the leak, right? You know, maybe they'll be able to put like a gobstopper, like some kind of gum or like you're saying, Elmer's glue and some tinfoil on it as a temporary fix. But you're not going to go and, re-enter with a tinfoiled up Elmer's glue gummed up spacecraft. You're going to still need to send someone up there to pull them out. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not, but I would think so. I would hope so. What do you guys think? What do you think? It's just crazy to me. I don't know. Let's see. Atomic Nuke says we're the same way. We had dogs for years and don't want any more right now either. Yeah, it's really hard. It is absolutely. It's hard. Let's see. Yeah, Tom said if it was not for Starlink, I would be using a smoky fire, and an old blanket. Yeah. Sending smoke signals. Sadly, people in a rural area, if it wasn't for SpaceX, they'd be using some kind of shitty AT&T, or some other crap service that are out there. There's so many that people are constantly commenting on. UP Tinkering says, I see a silver play button in your future. Love the channel and all the information you share. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's up. Tinkering. If you're new to the channel, if you're just hanging out, do me a favor, put an emoji in the chat just so that I'm here, that I see that you're here. I can recognize you, say hello or whatnot. Once again, we're just kind of hanging out and seeing if this 100,000 is going to hit while we're live. We're just going to hang out and do the Jerry Lewis telethon of it. Let's see. This is the first time watching. This is P-Tree. Thank you for being here. Yeah, we're going to end up hitting 100,000 live. First time you're here. We've been doing this for many, many years now. But, if you're not paying for marketing, I never paid for subscribers. I never paid for marketing. I never did nothing. That's all I did was continue to make the best quality content that I could possibly do, and constantly tried to up the game and get better as time went by. And I have about 1,100, 1,200 videos online, somewhere right around there. So, it's definitely, something that just takes a long time to get there. It's definitely, not a sprint. People always say that, and it's true. It is definitely a marathon, and it takes a long period of time. So, the people that try to do it really quickly, they almost always crash and burn. It's just, that's the way it is. So let me see. Any other questions here? You got Bigfoot to pull out there. Yeah, we should get Bigfoot in here. Let's see. T-Rex. Yeah, possibly T-Rex out there. Invisible River says, click that sub button and ring the bell. That would be awesome. Appreciate that. Come on, everybody. Let's get to 100,000 by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to get there sooner. I think we're going to get there sooner. We are now 974. Not bad. What do we got? 36? Something like, yeah. I think that's about it. 36 left. 26? 36. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely, we're 26. I mean, we're looking 26. I would say let's do it in about 20 minutes. Let's get a subscriber per minute. That would be great. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. There's 131, 151 somewhere on there. If you guys on board right now, once again, throw the video a thumbs up. That'll help YouTube hopefully show it to a couple other people that can come on and see the channel for the first time. Especially breaking that 100,000 mark. That's pretty cool. Phil the Brit says, that's question to Fabiola. Are you staying online till the 100,000 subscriber? She is not online right now. She's in California working. So she's kind of, I think, getting online with her phone every once in a while when she's not on set. So, but that's about all that I can kind of divulge. Everything, Fabiola and myself have always worked in the creative community, right? And she does all of the hair, makeup, and wardrobe. I do professional photography and videography and DP work, director of photography, that type of stuff. And we've always worked with actors, actresses, people like that. So most of the stuff that we do, every once in a while we can talk about something, but the majority of the stuff that we do is NDA'd. So we have to sign non-disclosure agreements with, everything, with the majority of the stuff that we do. I mean, I remember taking photographs in a certain home that was about 3 houses down from Trump's house, Mar-a-Lago, and it's basically a conservatory for art. So I wasn't able to take any photographs of any of the people that were there, dignitaries, lots of stars, actors, with any of the backdrops of the images on the wall. And those images were like Van Gogh, Seurat, Picasso, but the originals. I mean, the home had 13 air conditions with climate control and dozens of people with little things in their ears, if you know what I'm saying. So that just gives you an idea. Those are the kind of things that we work on, and most of the time things are NDA'd and stuff. We just can't talk about all of the stuff that we do. That's just the way it is. So anyways, once again, Fabiola would have kicked me by now because I digress. I'm supposed to be working on questions. If you have a question, put a Q before the question. Put a at JCristina. It makes it easier for me to see. Let's see. Moving down. Let's see. What do we have here? Yep. Jeff says Fab's in California. I hope that isn't hot where she is. In California is like 73. Actually, where she is right now. It's 73 in the winter. It's 73 in the summer. It's 73, 365 days a year, pretty much. It's like, it never changes. It's kind of crazy. Phil Britt says, come on, team. Hit that like button. 15 so far. Come on. Let's keep hitting that like button. Let's do it. Let's get out of here. Dan says, congratulations, JCristina. This feels like a PBS fun drive. Laugh out loud. Yes. Just kidding. It's all great. It's all your great coverage of Starlink and recent Starlink Mini and whatnot. Yeah. So I do appreciate that. You know, I've been doing the SpaceX Starlink stuff for some time, and I started doing it, you know, kind of like just a little quick backstory. I need to get a sip of water. I started doing it because I had absolute shit internet. I got on the waiting list for SpaceX Starlink, and it literally took me 9 months to get it. Not a month, not immediately, not sitting at Costco or whatever. 9 months. So after 9 months I got it, I was just floored. My family was floored. Everyone was like, I can't believe this. This is how the rest of the world lives. Well, if you're in the rural community somewhere, well, this is basically how you live. You live with the shittiest internet like from the 1990s. And that's because these organizations, these companies, instead of being held to the fire, they get all of these subsidies from the government to help the rural community, to bridge the digital divide is what they called it. And they didn't bridge shit. They took all of the subsidy and they stuck it in their pocket, AT&T, just one of them to name the many. Now, I know this. I'm making the statement because I know it, because I know engineers. I used to be a system administrator working on a rack at a Boca building, we won't say which one, with Bell Atlantic's rack right next door. So literally right next to mine. So I would talk to the system administrator. I would talk to the engineers, the people that actually get the shit done, right? And they're like, they tell me exactly how it is. And this is how it is. They get tons of subsidies and they do minimal. And they try to figure out what they can do to minimally show that they've done something that is a lot. And they've done it for a long period of time. One of the things that they used to do, you'll love it, and I'm calling them out. They would go and set up fiber in an RV park. Why? Because there's 400 or 500 people in a very small area. So for the location, they can set up and say, yeah, we just hooked up 500 people, let's say. 200 people, 300 people, whatever. That's what they would do. But the thing is no one in the RV park wanted fiber. They didn't need that. They're not worrying about fiber. Number one, they're transient. They're coming back and forth. Half the time they're not there. And the people that are there, they don't got money for fiber. They're worrying about, making the payment for the electricity and for the food and all the rest of this stuff, right? So this is the kind of stuff that they would do. And they'd be like, and they would just make these numbers look like they have connected so many people. It was all virtual. It was all bullshit, right? Anyways, see? I digress. What are we at? 99,973. 73. What is it, 27 to go? Something like that? We're getting there. We are getting there, guys. We are getting there. Let's see. The video says, go, 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 go. 32 to go. We're down to 27 to go. Let's do it. Thumbs up the video. Let's get this telethon going. Oh, man. We got a lot of super chats already. We got so many of these free memberships that we're given. Wow. I really appreciate it, guys. Petrie, new here. Petrie, thank you for being here. It says, what's your plans for weekend since your wife isn't around? Mine's out tonight, and I plan to play video games tonight and tomorrow morning. You know, I am a video gamer too. I love video games, and I just haven't had a lot of time to play video games, but I'm going to, I think, start. I'm thinking about doing like a Starlink video game type of thing and just do a series where I play a video game, but I use Starlink. So you can see what the ping looks like. You can see what the latency looks like. You can see how many times I die because the ping is shit or the ping is good. And the ping is getting better. The ping being your latency, and I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about here. So yeah, I'm thinking about it. I like it. I like it. You know, I absolutely like it. Wife's out of town, play some video games. I think it's great. I think it's great. Petrie, I feel you, man. I feel you. Let's see. Janice says, welcome new members. This is a great place on Friday night. Thank you for that coffee and tea. Appreciate that. Let's see. Invisible River says, it's free to sub. It is free to sub. Go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe. I'm thinking a commemorative calendar. That's interesting. Maybe I do a 100,000, 100K t-shirt. I don't know. You know, you guys have been giving me some ideas. Someone reached out and they wanted a wolf, right? I didn't forget about the wolf on the t-shirt. I'm going to start doing some more drawing to get some more t-shirts. If you guys haven't taken a look at the JCristina.com, check it out. JCristina.com. I'll throw it up on the screen so you can see it right now. But go over to JCristina.com and then kind of scroll down. You can see the shirts and the mugs and all of my tees. I did create a brand of tees called Dark Moon Tees, if you guys didn't know it, about 2 years ago. All organic, all handcrafted, non-radiated, non-GMO, all good stuff, or I don't. Matter of fact, there's a bunch of tees. If you are someone that have bought something from the channel, from the JCristina site, and you haven't got it in the last week or so, there is some organic ingredients that were on back order, and that's why there's a delay. But what I do is I would rather give people their money back or send it a week late and make sure that it's organic, non-radiated, because radiation is really bad, you know, non-GMO, all good stuff in the teas that I make, those blends. So keep that in mind. So I apologize if anyone's like, where's my damn tea? It's been a week now. I'm sorry. But it will be coming, and it will be coming soon. Let's see. The damn thing jumped. There was a question here, and now it jumped. God, why does it do that? Why? YouTube. Why has it got to be like that? Let's see. Scrolling down now that it just jumped. Why did it do that? Yeah, Peter says 99,974. Yep, we are there. Let's see. Peter says, JC, you are making very good content and great content videos. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that, Peter. Thank you. Janice says, y'all send positive thoughts to all of those 100,000 people without electricity this weekend. Absolutely. You know, and that's what ends up happening here too. This is the Texas power grid. It's the same thing that happens here in Florida. And then all of these people come from all the other states and they help FPL fix the power grid. And the same thing holds true with Texas. A lot of people from Florida, from all the other states around, they all flood into Texas or into wherever devastation happened due to a hurricane and put those power lines up as fast as possible. All those people are away from their families, making a difference. Those are the people we need to, you know, say thank you to, along with the men and women that are sitting in our armed forces that allow us to sit here and just gab and just bullshit about things while they're out there fighting the good fight and keeping us safe. So, you know, our thoughts go out to them also. So there's, you know, we don't always have to, you know, thank them on special days. We can thank them every day. Because once again, it gives us the ability to do what we do and not have to think about, you know, being bombed or something happening to us. So anyways, moving on here, let's see. Question, is it true that the Mini the Mini was working in motion and SpaceX is going to allow it in the future? Someone said Mini works in motion. The Mini does work in motion. I do have information that proves that. Someone sent me email proving that yes, it does work in motion. They say that it is not allowed, but maybe, just maybe, they will renege on that and they'll say, yes, it's allowed. Because honestly, you're paying 120, you're paying an extra 30, you're paying 600 for the gear. You're paying for any extra data over 50 gigs. Just let them move. I don't know. That's my thoughts. Let's see. Slide us a note, JC. We're keeping a secret. What is that? What are you saying there, Mo World? What are you saying? Dark Moon Teas for everyone at 100,000. Dark Moon Teas. Yeah, that, I'm going to have to, once again, I'm going to do something. It's a great idea, Dark Moon Teas. I'm going to do something for the 100,000 when that play button comes in, because obviously this just happened. I wasn't able to plan for it because I was actually planning with my wife something, but we were thinking it was going to happen in September. And it looks like it's going to be happening, possibly tonight. Or if we don't make it, it'll be tomorrow. Or, we'll see. But I think we should be able to make it. We'll hang out for a bit. I can rant and rave forever. For absolutely ever. Let's see. NDA, real estate, gun rooms. Yes, William. Yes. Let's see. Moving on. Let's see. French subscriber. 3.5, give it, take 1. Yes. That's Planet Earth. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank everyone for being here. This is one of those Friday nights where it's kind of like chilled, laid back. I don't have my wife that's pushing me along and, kind of guiding the ship. So we're kind of just hanging out. And normally I would usually shut this down about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half, right around there. But obviously want to see if we can hit this 100,000 before we go. So let's see. Phil, the Brit says, I have an NDA with the billionaire I work with, so I understand. I can say he owns Walker's Clay in the Bahamas and loves sport fishing and treasure hunting on sunken Spanish galleons. I know exactly. So yeah, and that's what happens. Sometimes when you work for certain people, they want to remain anonymous, and you have to sign NDAs due to either what they do, who they do it with, or the things that are around them. Like in my situation, it was not just the people, but also the things that were hanging on the wall. That's just one instance, but there's many, many, many. I used to shoot at Mar-a-Lago at Donald Trump's home 10 years prior to him becoming the president, 15 years before he became the president. So, I've been doing this for many, many, many years. Let's see. Welsh and Sons Farm says 20, says 32 more. We're getting there. I don't even want to look, guys. I don't even want to look. I'm going to go through questions so that I don't miss any. Once again, if you have a question, put them down below. Let's get to it. Cleaning out the closet, I found an old Canon camera with my 80 to 200 zoom. Wow, that's an old one. That is an old one. That's cool to have. Went to the mall and no store to buy film. Yeah. It's hard to buy film these days. Thomas, how you doing? Thomas says, this is my first time. Thank you for saying hello. Thank you for being here. Thomas says, just became a member. I really appreciate all the helpful information. I also got Starlink this week and love it. Congratulations. I'm glad you became a member. You kind of listen to, I have about 304 Starlink videos in a Starlink playlist. Check them out. Definitely look at some of those. Take a look at the ones that are really popular, like when I review different alternatives to the Starlink router, when I talk about how to develop a mesh network. Still to this day, I'm doing consultations for companies, for individuals, for oil rig play, all kinds of people, just people that need Starlink on a mass scale, and I will do network build outs for them. I'll write it all together, write it all down, give them a whole list of stuff that they need to buy, how to put it all together, where everything goes, that type of thing. So I do consultations also. Matter of fact, if you go to the JCristina.com site, if you go to shop, you go to all the way to the very bottom. The very last product is a 1-hour consultation. So I've been doing that for quite some time now, and trying to help out. My idea is I always want to try to help out people whenever possible. If I can make $1 or $2 doing it, that's fantastic. But I actually truly love helping people. That just is everything to me. Absolutely everything. Let's see. Moving on. Let's see. Wow, Fabiola was here at 10 o'clock. Says you guys hate all awesome. Let's see. Fabiola was on at, 12 minutes ago. So I don't know if she's still here. I'll try to scroll down just a little bit. I don't see if she's here or not, but she was here. So, but since I'm backed up a little bit, I'm back to 10 o'clock. I'm 12 minutes behind, guys. I'm 12 minutes behind. I'm going to try to go fast. Lathan says, how's the latency between two Starlink mobiles driving at high speed, at 10,000 miles apart, trying for that for the gaming. So, I don't know. I don't know, because I haven't done any testing like that, to be honest with you. I don't know how, what the latency would be. And I think it really depends on the ground stations that are near you, right? Or near each person. The ground stations are going to be what makes the difference. Because the Starlink satellites actually communicate, or the Starlink dish actually communicates with the satellite in about 4 to 5 seconds. That's round trip. So you only have about 5 seconds of actual latency. All the rest of that latency that you see is all ground latency. It's terrestrial. It's not non-terrestrial, right? So that's where the problem goes. And that's what I was saying. Once they build out that mesh and they'll be able to, let's say, discontinue or lessen the number of ground stations and just simply send the data to the POPs, things are going to speed up. And that's where Elon Musk said that the latency is going to come down to about 20 milliseconds or sub 20 milliseconds. And it's happening. It's happening, guys, because matter of fact, I was looking at some latency. I did a quick screenshot. Let me see if I have it here. No, I don't see it there. I did a screenshot of my pings. I think it was yesterday. And I was getting some pings of 16 milliseconds, 17, 20, 18, 25, in that area. I'm like, holy hell. They used to be 40, 50. That's some really good that's some really good pings. I like it. Let's see. Dr. Sue says, I miss Florida. I hear you. A lot of people like Florida. It's nice. It's not bad. Greetings from Shire, Texas. Drinking a Shire Bach and listening to the Geek Speak. Do you like the Geek Speak? I personally love the Geek. Thanks, Tim, for being here. Appreciate you. William, put her in the top right corner. I could do that, right? I was actually thinking about it. If she can call in live, right, I can have her online. So she's going to be away for a few weeks. If I can get that to happen, maybe, and she is able to at that specific time, because I don't know where she's going to be, maybe I can get her to go live with me. But virtually live. That'd be cool. Question for Peter. It says, love my internet connection. He's got a fiber of 1 by 1. God, Peter. Peter's in Denmark. He is the moderator, and the poor guy is getting 1 gig up by 1 gig down. Just gotta love to send some hate to Denmark. That's awesome, though. That is great. I would love to see it. A gig up and a gig down. What would I do with that, guys? What would I do with it? I don't know. I really don't know. Let's see. Moving down, Peter with his gig. Yeah, people, just give him hell for that. Give him hell. Jeff says Sierra Nevada Summerfest is choice tonight. There you go. Nice. William, thank you. Thank you for being here. BJ, Thomas, a bunch of hearts. Thank you. Dr. Stu explains. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Wow. Probably did it about 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. I'm sorry for being delayed. So Planet Earth, as well as, let me see, who else? We got Debbie, we have Eric, Patio Nelson, or Patio Nelson, Phil's Camping Review, all got free memberships. That is courtesy of Dr. Stu Explains. So say thank you to Dr. Stu if you're one of those, or even if you didn't, even if you weren't one of those, getting that free membership. Thank you for that. That is really, really nice. That's kind. Thank you for that. Let me see. Moving down. If I missed your question, go ahead and stick it in there again, because I'm going to go through it quick because this thing is jumping around. Let me see. Petrie says, let's see. What normally happens to the upper stage of a Falcon 9? Do they relight the third time the drive? It was in the atmosphere. So the way the Falcon 9 works is you have the fairing is you have the bottom piece, right? You're actually launching that into space. The fairing opens up. The fairing is that little piece at the top. That cone opens up. It exposes the satellites. The fairing falls back to Earth, right? I don't think they actually rescue that, but they might. I don't know. But it falls back into the ocean. And then those satellites are let go. They're launched. And then that rocket ends up coming back down and landing on the back of one, or piggybacking on the back of one of these drone ships. Now, the upper piece, I don't believe that is captured. I don't believe so. So if you guys know, let me know, because I'm not sure exactly if that, I don't believe when they say it's reusable. I think the actual booster is reusable. I don't know about the top piece is. I don't know. I'm going to say no, it is not. But let me know. That's one of the things that they're trying to do with the IFTs that's constantly going, that Starship. They're trying to make the entire thing 100% reusable. So nothing falls off. Like the last time, that inner piece that marries the top to the bottom, right? The first stage with the top stage, or the Super Heavy to the Starship, right? You have like this little disc that's in the middle, and that's where it does its hot separation, right? Where it actually fires off the rocket, the engines on the upper piece that pushes off the lower piece, which is that Super Heavy. Well, they're going to make that smaller, more compressed, more compact, lighter, and they're going to keep it attached. Right now, it actually falls back to, or it's basically lost. But they're not going to lose it. They're going to keep it on board. So eventually, that entire rocket is supposed to be 100% reusable, and they're supposed to be able to just reuse them literally within hours. Something extremely quick, because those, where they have to refurbish a certain piece, another piece doesn't have to be refurbished. That just needs to be fueled up and is ready to go again. And I think that's one of the reasons why they're putting forth all this effort into figuring out the heat shielding. Because when you have those heat tiles falling off, it takes a long time to put those heat tiles back on. So that's why they're trying to figure it out. That was the same problem that held true with the space shuttle. The space shuttle constantly was losing tiles. Well, when you're losing tiles, guess what? That's not a good thing. You're having to now figure out, like, what do we do now? What is it that we're going to do here? We're losing tiles. We're going to have to constantly put them on. I think if I remember correctly, the space shuttle, it took like 9 months in total to reattach all of those heat tiles. 9 months. Well, that's obviously not going to work, right? So that's why they're really working hard on this heat shielding, because that is a major, major problem. It's always been a problem, and it's just more of a problem today, because we're trying to make it turn around so quick, not years down the road. Let's see. I've listened to many of your videos, but this is the first time your live chat. Probably a historical moment. It is. Thank you for being here. This is Orzowskoe. Anyways, thank you for being here. Scott Cook, 25 to go. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate you being here. Come on, 25. Radioactive Texan says we are getting there. No, yep, for Fab. Let's see, 4 milliseconds. That's right, Arnie. 4 to 5 milliseconds, Arnie, is about what the actual turnaround from your data going from your dish up to a satellite and then back down to the dish. It's about five milliseconds, somewhere around there. There's always going to be a little bit of overhead, but that is that you can't you can't outthink yourself out of a thinking box, right? You can't go faster than the speed of light. And that's going to be the maximum speed that you're going to be able to get. But like I said before, how they're going to make it even faster is, I'm going to rant just real quick. I'm going to tell it, some people don't know how it works. They're going to try to do away with some of the ground stations. So right now, guys, your data goes from your dish up to a satellite, from the satellite to a ground station. From the ground station, it goes to a POP, or a point of presence. At the point of presence, it sends out the request to, let's say, Google. It gets the response back. Now, the point of presence sends that data back to the ground station. From the ground station, back up to a satellite. From the satellite, back down to your dish. That's the round trip. Eventually, what will happen is the data will go from your dish up to a satellite to another satellite using laser communications, right, built on board through the mesh network of all of that massive constellation. You'll go to another satellite overhead of your POP. My POP's in Atlanta, Georgia. It's 700 miles away. So it'll go from my dish up to a satellite overhead. It'll relay it 700 miles at the speed of light in a vacuum, which is even quicker than the speed of light inside of a fiber optic cable on Earth. And then from that dish, or from that satellite, straight down to the POP, because the POP will have ground stations or a receiver, let's say, there to be able to do this. So just think about that. You just cut out an entire hop, right? Multiple hops, by not having to go to the ground station twice. Because remember, you're going to the ground station before it goes to the POP, then you have to go back to the ground station before it goes to satellite and back down to you. So you're taking the ground station out twice. So that's how they're going to lower latency. Because once again, they can't go faster than the speed of light. So, and there you have it. If you didn't know, now you know. Now you know. And everything that I just said was completely bullshit. No, it wasn't. It was real. Let's see. Ricky Joe. What does Ricky Joe say? Ricky Joe says, "Did you see that there is a new phone out? It's the Samsung Flip Z. I did not see that phone. I did not see Flip 6. Interesting. I don't know. I have not seen it. Don't ask me about the damn bathroom. Fabiola's out. She can't kick me. Give me hell about the bathroom. Let's see. And we're moving down here. Any other questions? Put them in there. Once again, thanks to Dr. Stu. Appreciate you. How many more, this is from Phil the Brit, says, how many more months or years of SpaceX launches are there until the dishes reach 100% coverage? What latency will we see then? That kind of speaks on what I just talked about with the latency. I predict, based on what we know, based on what I know about what I know, I think that Elon Musk, SpaceX, will be able to see a latency of approximately 12 milliseconds. I would say 12 is probably a really good number, because you got 4 to 5 milliseconds from round tripping. And then there's an additional 4 or 5 milliseconds, let's say, for some overhead. So I would say probably the fastest that they'll be able to go, theoretically, would be like 10 milliseconds. But I think they'll probably hit 12 to 15 milliseconds. That's what I think that they'll hit. And that's basically on par to what we see with like cable, right? If you have a cable network, cable system, that's what you got. So it's definitely a possibility. I think that's going to be where it's going to be at. I don't know. Alpha Crude says, what games do you play? Yeah, so I like first-person shooters. What games do you play? I have tried out recently Guild Wars 2, which is like an MMO. I like some of the MMOs. They're pretty cool. Like the old school type of MMOs. I played Fortnite and 7 Days to Die and, all that kind of like more first-person type stuff. But I I just want to do some kind of laid back stuff. Like first person shooters are cool, but they're chaotic, and it's very hard to be able to do one and actually speak on any topic. So I don't know. We'll see. If you have any suggestions down below, put whatever games you would like to suggest for me to play. But yeah, I'll do some. And I don't expect everyone to watch it because people aren't into gaming or the specific game. But definitely put some games down there. John says his voice is gonna be gone tomorrow. Yeah, my voice hurts, but that's all right. No problem. We're gonna see. This has not moved now, guys. We're still at 99,976. 99,976. We got to hit it. We have to hit it. We're down to 24. 24. How long does this take? Am I going to have to take a break? I don't know. Honey Badger. 100,000 exchange to not getting the bathroom done. It's kind of, I don't know. Fab, you're going to regret that later. Yes. Yes, this is from Fabiola that writes to William. That's good. That's good. Let's see. Phil says, can you put reflectors around your dish to improve signal? It's not going to improve signal. So what I did experience, and I could share with you guys, is when I put my MIMO antenna, the 4x4 MIMO antenna, which I use for the T-Mobile, when I put it next to the dish, when I put it next to Dishy, my Mr. Bevel, it didn't like it. The speeds went slower on the T-Mobile. Now, I don't know what it did to the dish and their speeds, but I didn't check that. I was checking T-Mobile at the time, but it definitely was a net negative. So if I was to put that dish about 8 feet apart, it was okay. But if I go 4 feet, it wasn't okay. So I would say shielding your dish from as much external noise, radio frequencies, when I say external noise, radio frequency is actually a good thing. So if you have another antenna nearby, kind of keep it further away. It will probably help out. But yeah, putting any type of reflectors or, like an amplifier, I don't think it's going to help. I really don't. But it's definitely something you can try out. And if it works, let me know. I'll try it out. We'll do it live on the show. That would be kind of cool. Let's see. Someone said we lost one. It was 99,973. Well, we just gained a few. We're back now. We're up to 99,978. We're going. Come on, guys. Get someone to subscribe. This is the Jerry Lewis Marathon. Oh my God. Let me see. John, question. You don't like TP-Link, the 65 board. So I don't mind the TP-Link. I actually like TP-Link. I've talked to the engineers over at TP-Link. There's some things that I would like for them to change that they weren't willing to change. It was just, I'm very, like if I see a problem with a product, I will talk to the engineers and I'll be like, okay, so with my background, I know some things about this stuff. I'm like, if you just simply did this and you did that and you didn't do this, this would all work out better. But they weren't really willing to do any type of updates. So it was kind of sad. But it is what it is. But as far as a cost-effective router, access point, you can't beat TP-Link. They're pretty damn good. They're pretty damn good. I mean, of course, you want high-end stuff. There's like PEP links and all kind of, but you're spending like 4 times the price. It's a lot more expensive. Did I see Fabiola end up putting pink poop emojis in here? She did 10 minutes ago. What is that? What is that? Let's see. We're scrolling down here. We're getting close to the bottom. That's not bad. We're doing all right. We're only, 8 minutes behind? Don't kill me, guys. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Let me see. Ricky Joe says, my aunt is currently getting 1,338 down by 1,291 up 12 milliseconds with a ping of 1. But that's fiber. That's, of course, it's AT&T. It doesn't really matter at that point. Fiber is fiber, you know. It doesn't matter where it's coming from. You're going at the speed of light. That's pretty awesome. Let's see. I'm going down to the bottom, and then I'm going to work my way up a little bit. Pink T-Rex, I like that. That's very cool. Some Floridian Gopher died. Yes. Destiny 2. I like that for a video game. Destiny 2, not bad. We can look into some Destiny 2. 116 minutes so far. Yes, it's been a little bit. It's been a bit. We're getting close to the 2-hour mark. I'm sure a lot of people have already signed off. But I appreciate everyone being here. Just saying. It says 22 to go. Is it 22? 21. We're at 21. Come on, guys. We got to get 21 more. 21 more. Question. Recommended a point-and-click adventure game. Point-and-click adventure game. Yeah, all right. That's not bad. The one that I was just saying, what was it called? Guild Wars 2. That's kind of like that. It's kind of cartoony and, you know, kind of third person over. And you can, you know, when you're fighting, you know, it's more intense, but then it's laid back when you're kind of walking around or flying around on your dragon or something like that. I tested that out. I tested out a few other games. Some of the companies, they send me requests to test out their games, and sometimes I look at them and I'm like, yeah, no. I had a company that wanted me to test out this video game, and I tested it out, and the video game wanted me to log in with my Google account, and then in the setup process, it wanted me to log in with 3 additional Google accounts, different Google accounts. Guys, I'm like, are you friggin' kidding me, guys? Are you kidding me? They were going to pay me a lot of money to be a sponsor. And I'm like, you're like screwing people. So basically, if they get one person to pay, and in the setup process, they're getting 4 or 3 because they're having you log in with multiple accounts to get more gold or more virtual bullshit. I'm like, yeah, no, you know, take your bullshit, you know, somewhere else. So, but I get a lot of that kind of stuff. So I'm very leery. So if I recommend something to you guys, you should know that it's vetted, right? Or I would not recommend it. Trust me. I get probably, I tell Fab this all the time. She doesn't. Sometimes she probably doesn't believe me, but it's true. I get anywhere from about 50 to 60 sponsor requests per week. And how many sponsors do you see on this channel? Me, right? Every once in a while, maybe a VPN. Maybe sometimes we'll have like 1 or 2 of something that I would definitely buy myself. But 50 per week. I mean, sometimes more, sometimes a little less, but I would say on average about 50. It's just some of this stuff is just, no, guys, no. If it's something that I won't buy for myself, I'm not going to recommend it to you. I don't care how much they pay me, right? That's not how this shit goes down. I'm not going to sell my soul for a couple of bucks, right? So then people come back and be like, you know, you guys, you sold me a bill of goods. You sold me crap. That's not who I am. Let me go back down here. Phil the Brit says, I hate to do this, but good night, guys. Phil the Brit, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Anyone that needs to jump off, go ahead and do so. I understand. We're down to 21 subscribers left. We'll wait a little bit longer. Let me see. What time is it right now? How much time we got? We got about 2 hours into it. Let's do this. Let's give it 15 minutes. Okay? If we don't get the 100,000 in 15 minutes, we'll call it. And then on next Friday, we'll talk about it a little bit. But I would really like to see the 100,000 subscribers live. But if it's going to take too long, then, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Definitely put it out there. Put a thumbs up on the video if you can. Let your community know about the channel. Maybe someone will like to subscribe. That would be awesome. Mo World says, I think we should set up the mattress on the floor. The blanket. Yes, maybe we should do that. Ice cream with Cool Whip. Yum. Ricky Joe. Yum. Kevin says, Night Phil. Let's see. Only for during doing a test. I don't trust Google. Yes, well, a lot of people don't trust Google. I mean, Google's one of those, one of those evils that you don't have a choice anymore. Google is everything, right? That's just the way it is. Alphabet, which is the owner of Google, right? They're the owner of YouTube. They own everything. So, I mean, they have your information if you like it or not. And if you don't think that they have your information, they get it from a second party or a third party or a fourth party that has your information that they get it from anyways. So it's like if you don't give it, no way, they'll find it. It's the name of the game. That's how it is. If you're not paying for a product, you are the product, right? That's just how it is. People think that there is a free lunch. There is no free lunch. If you're not paying for Facebook, you're the product. If you're not paying for whatever it is, you are the product, right? They're selling your information. They're selling you something. That's it. That's just simply how it is, right? There's no other way to look at it. That's it. That is how it is. Jay says dancing on YouTube might get a few more subs. Show me your chubby checkered Twitter. You know what? Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should just wander around and I should dance. I'll just dance around here. See if it helps. Let me see. It did help. Just talking about it. Boom. We just got another subscriber. We're down to 20 guys. 20 people. 20 subscribers. 20. Come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Is Fabiola showing legs? Is she showing legs? Is she trying to get subscribers? I appreciate that, hon. Don't show your legs, though. Or maybe. Let's get to 20 subscribers. Then you don't have to show your legs anymore. Let's see. Let's moving up backwards a little bit. Let's see if we missed anything. If anyone asked a question I didn't get to it, definitely put it down below, and I will get to it now. Let me ask you guys a couple of questions. Number one, I asked you, what games do you play? I always like to hear this because I think that is important. So if I do like a gaming little series, I know what you guys like. Also, as far as the Adobe thing, how many of you guys actually use Adobe? That's number one. Number two, when I'm doing any type of Adobe content, do you guys mind watching it? Or are you only here for the Starlink and that's it? If I do any kind of tech stuff, like I'm probably going to, I've been threatening on doing this for a while, work on some Raspberry Pis, right? And do something with the Raspberry Pi. Do you like that kind of stuff? Do you like the techie stuff? Or is it only Starlink? Is space? Is it, what are your likes? Because, if you guys are hanging out with me for this long, you obviously have been here for a while. What are you, what would you like to see on the channel? Because once we hit 100,000, I want to hit 200,000. I want to hit $250,000, million, whatever it is, right? Always have to strive for even more and more and more. But I also like changing things up. I started doing the Life After Adobe Cutting the Cord series just a couple of weeks ago, and it went over really big. Got like tens of thousands of views. It went over crazy. People just loved it. And I haven't done that for 5 years. And maybe I'm stupid for not. I don't know. What do you guys think? All right. Let's see. Let's come down here to the bottom. Question. The only Adobe I have used is Adobe Photoshop. Yeah, Adobe Photoshop is an awesome piece of software. The problem is it's very bloated, number one. And number two, you have to pay in perpetuity for it. You have to pay forever. It's a rental. So if you don't want to pay anymore, guess what? It doesn't work anymore. Not good. I want to buy something. I want to own something. I want to use it at my leisure. And then if I want to upgrade, I will. What does this do? This allows me not only to be able to work whenever I want to work, and I don't have to worry about the cloud, and I don't have to worry about being online, and I don't have to worry about being authorized or authenticated through an internet of some kind that could be down for 2 weeks because we have no power or something, right? And now we can't authenticate, so we can't use our software. But what this also does is it forces the companies to innovate and not iterate. Right? I've said this many times in the past. And with Adobe, what happened was when they went to the subscription model, and that at the time, at the very beginning, I was paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for their suite, but I would buy it and I would own it. And then it was for them to convince me to upgrade. The problem is when they don't need to convince you to upgrade because they get money forever. It doesn't matter if you like it or you don't like it, right? That's it. They don't really need to make anything fantastic. They need to just simply iterate on what they're doing. They don't need to innovate and do something great. So the amount of like really cool shit that Adobe has done, like the biggest thing that Adobe did was layers. Think about it. Layers. Back with what? Adobe 4 or Adobe 2? Or what the hell? What was it? Photoshop 2? Photoshop 4? Something like that? When they came out with layers, that was it. That was like the biggest thing. What was something as big? Content-aware fill. Right? Content-aware fill. Very, very, very big. Right? But now software like Affinity Photo and like other packages, they have layers. Right? They also have content-aware fill. What they don't have, what Adobe did change, and they did recently, is the AI stuff, where you can now change things or change backgrounds in accordance to what's already there and then build upon it. That's pretty cool. Other companies haven't done it. So there is some people out there that say, listen, I have to use it because I need that to be able to do plates for my TV program or whatever it is, right? So there's use cases for everything. So that is something that, for example, Affinity has said, we're not really going to get into that AI stuff for right now. Maybe they will in the future. But we have everything else. So if you don't need that type of thing, well, you can use alternatives. The bottom line here is when you pay something as a subscription model, it does not provide them with reasoning, right, to do anything good. It just gives them money for doing nothing, and you just constantly stuck. So I am not a fan of rental or leasing. I want to buy it, and then once again, I want to upgrade it, but you have to show me a reason to actually upgrade it. I think that's a good way of doing it. Let's see. Moving on here. Radioactive Texan says Raspberry Pi game machine. That is my game machine that I have over there that some of you guys have seen. I call it the time machine. That is, the entire machine is run on a Raspberry Pi. So yeah, I could do something like that. That wouldn't be good. That would be pretty good. Kamikaze Ozzy says, not into Adobe, but I do a lot of projects using Raspberry Pi. What kind of projects do you do? And if I do some projects with the Raspberry Pi, I just picked up a 4.0, I guess, a 4, Raspberry 4. What projects would be cool? Give me, if you have a site or something, give me a list. Give me some Raspberry Pi projects that you think that people would like. That's more kind of easy, so like people that are new can spend $50, $60 on a Raspberry Pi and do it. Because there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do. Like I said, I built an entire game machine over there where you could put quarters in, like an old school game machine that you'd see in an arcade. I built that with my son. I think it was a few summers ago. So very cool. The whole thing runs on a Raspberry Pi. So the unit is like 7.5 feet tall, 3 feet wide, 3 feet deep, right? With the whole cabinet and the coin thing and all of the buttons and the stick and all the stuff, right? The 2 double joystick, TV, the monitor, the whole thing. And inside of it is 100% empty. Basically, there's a Raspberry Pi about this big, the size of my wallet. That's the whole thing, with a couple of cables coming out of it. That's the whole thing. Crazy, absolutely crazy. Anyways, yeah, down below, let me know. It would be cool if you talked about Amerisat. Okay, that's something. I have Amerisat, the phone 2.1. Interesting. All right, it's from Jared. John says, I like whatever you're doing. Yes, and make Game Machine. There you go. Game Machine is always cool. Peter, if you need to go, you can get going. I know. Time is getting late. Holy hell! I just looked. We're down to 15 people. 99,985. Holy hell. We're getting there. I can't even believe it, guys. I can't believe it. Let me see if Ricky Joe says you hit 1 million. You get a gold play button. Can you imagine hitting 1 million and getting a gold play button? That would be pretty cool. I don't know if my market set will afford me 1 million subscribers. That's more of like, like the hot type of TikTok-y type of stuff, right? I think that's probably more like 1 million, but who knows? You never know. You can never tell. Scott says 18 to go. Yep, we're down to 15 to go. Let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Thumbs up the video. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell people to subscribe. Jeff says, I use Adobe. Also have Affinity. Your Adobe content doesn't bother me. I am not ready to change. I get it. They once they get you in, it's hard to get out. Very hard to get out. For me, I got out cold turkey. And I was, professional photographer, videographer. I quit cold turkey, and I did it on purpose because I knew that I had to find alternatives and I had to do it quick. I couldn't just sit on my laurels and just hope that it was to happen. I did it. It was not easy. It was a learning curve, and I took everyone along with me on that ride and that journey. And that a lot of people loved that, Life After Adobe Cutting the Cord series for it. So it was the Life After Adobe Cutting the Cord really was identical to my rationale at doing it as a means of doing something extremely hard, but enjoyable, but useful, and then taking everyone on that journey with me. The same thing holds true with the Starlink. I got the Starlink. I was like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. There's absolutely no tech support. You can't get a hold of anyone at Starlink. There's no one there, right? So I've been doing it now. I know this shit inside and out. I might as well help other people so it won't be so hard for them. Because when I began using SpaceX Starlink, there was 112,000 people worldwide. I have dish number like 2,000 on the generation 2, and I had the beta before that. But so I was there from the beginning. So 112,000. Now they're at like what, 4 million almost? Massive, right? Massive. Yet they still don't have a support center. Interesting, right? And they can still do it without any means of calling anyone. Now, that doesn't mean that SpaceX Starlink won't call you if they need to, but everything goes through ticketing. So, it is what it is. Let me see here. Mo says doing different stuff, doing different stuff, photography, Starlink, Adobe to technology, everything that is between, JC. So yeah, I like that. I like to kind of switch it up. YouTube doesn't like when I switch stuff up. They don't at all. But too bad. Tom says, I watch it all. I appreciate that, Tom. Love you for it. That's awesome. Just AutoCAD does, yes. AutoCAD is another one of those, AutoCAD. There's a lot of music software out there that a lot of people use that are, into that lease thing, into that rental, never owning it, having to have a little pen drive, a little key to be able to use it and all kinds of other stuff. Yeah. They got you by the short hairs. Would be cool if you talked about the Amerisat. Yep, got that one. David says maybe you could do some alligator wrestling since you're in Florida. There you go, alligator wrestling. That's what I need. I need to do some alligator wrestling. Holy hell. I might not make it for the next Friday's live. Some of those alligators you don't even know, guys. It is just crazy. Really, really scary. Really scary. There was a time at Disney, there was this couple, they were there with their kid, and they were in the Disney park, and there was like a pond, and they were sitting by the pond, and it was like starting to get to dusk, and they would looked away, and all of a sudden their kid was dragged in by an alligator in Disneyland, Disney World, and the kid died. Crazy, absolutely crazy. Yeah, the alligators are nasty. They don't even play around. They don't even kill you. They actually drown you. They roll you, and then they stuff you under a rock until you rot. Why are we talking about this shit? You see? Anyways, alligators. So let me see. In my opinion, I like your Starlink content, tech reviews. Yes, please. I use the Adobe Reader most of the time. Peter says it is their own fault about the pirating software. Yeah, people pirate their software because they're assholes. That's it. I always pay for everything because, I want to give back to people. But then when you see people that are just nasty, that are evil, like Adobe, and they get their shit pirated, I don't care. Whatever. I mean, I'm not going to pirate their shit because I don't even want it. But still, I understand when people do it. Live, let me see, veterinarian surgery. There you go. I mean, I'll do that. There you go. I don't think there's any competition. Could you imagine? That'd be cool. I'm not a veterinarian. I can't do neurosurgery, but that would be kind of cool to be able to do that. 17 to go, Scott says. Consider subscribing. 100%. Yes, absolutely. Moving on. Don't put my photos on Adobe's cloud. Definitely don't. Keep your photos on your computer. Don't put them in the cloud. If you put them in the cloud, one day it's going to rain. You're not going to have your photos. I tell people this all the time, and they don't get it. Don't use the cloud if you don't have to. And if you do use the cloud, use it as a backup, not as a primary or a source that you need to have access to at any given time. Keep it local. Keep it on a hard drive. Matter of fact, that's why I wrote this book. How to create a digital Fort Knox, backing up your digital life. When I created my NAS, my Unraid server, I took you on that trip. I see this seems to be like what I do, right? I go on these journeys and then I take people on these journeys by writing a book or doing these. I'm learning about myself. This Friday night, now that I'm like becoming delusional, I'm actually figuring myself out. I don't know. It's kind of like therapeutic. We're just kind of hanging out here. What are we at? 99,989. We have, guys, 11 to go. 11 subscribers to go. Throw this over on Discord. Throw it on your Facebook channel. Throw it somewhere. Get a couple of people to subscribe so we can get the hell out of here. Excuse me, guys. Let's see. Jared says would be cool if you can talk about. Yes, we got that. We got the planet Earth says in college decades ago, I had a student version of Adobe. After the associated class, I never used it because it took years finally to see them quit, and I moved to something else. Yes, and this is then in the 80s. So what ends up happening is yes, they get people on board, and they use these colleges and they use these trade schools and I went to 3 colleges, and what they do is they use these colleges as a means. Apple did the exact same thing. They use them to force them into, by giving them the software into their software, and then what happens is the schools say, listen, if you don't use Adobe, you can't become a professional. There's no way. And it's all bullshit, guys. It's all bullshit. That is not the case. That's absolutely not the case. Shy, thank you for that super chat, Shy. It says, do you think the Mini will go down to $200 in Panama? Thanks and congrats for the 100,000. Thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate that, Shy. Do I think we'll go down to $200? I do think the Mini will be $200. I said it before, and I will say it again. $199 to $249 is the price of that Mini, what it should be, in my personal opinion. Will it get there? I think we're going to see $299 in not so much of a distant future, but we're right now at $599 in the U.S. So, as far as Panama goes, I really don't know what they're going to go down to over there, but I know the price is going to go down. I know it. That price is it's temporary, absolutely temporary. Let's see. Janice says, question. On the debug data setting on the Starlink app under the Starlink location, should local network be toggled on or off? Thanks so much. Congratulations on the 100,000, so on and so forth. So, Janice, the local network, the way you could do it either which way. When it comes standard, I believe local network is set to on, right? So check into that. But it really doesn't make that much of a difference. It's still going to work the same. So for me, if you wanted to, for example, use a third-party router, and that's my personal opinion, the best way to go, because unless you have the latest Starlink router, which is a Wi-Fi 6 router, Wi-Fi 6E, I think it's Wi-Fi 6, I would say don't use the Starlink router like a Generation 1 or Generation 2 or any of those, right? Use a third party because you're going to get the added security. You're also going to get faster speeds. You're going to get your Wi-Fi 6 instead of your Wi-Fi 5, and it's just simply better. So I personally use a gaming router because gaming routers are there for gaming. So they're multi-channeled. They're very, very quick. Latency is very low. They're specifically designed for low latency because they're for gaming. right? So in my personal opinion, I wouldn't even go in there and start playing. Just leave things how it is, standard or stock, in the debugging area. Don't change it. However it is, leave it. But I personally would use a third-party router if you do not have the latest Starlink, the Generation 3. If you have anything prior, just get a different router. That's my personal opinion. It's just a better way to go. And you're going to get faster speeds for doing so. Kamikaze says Starlink Mini is all you need. You are connected everywhere, used to. Yeah. So yeah, job sites and whatnot. And someone sent me over a video of them on a job site with their Starlink Mini on the dashboard of their car. And they were getting crazy, like 100 plus download and 20 plus upload, and plugged into, I think it was like a Blue Yeti or something like that. Anyways. They are amazing. Their data problem is the problem. The data at 50 megabits is not, 50 megabytes is not enough, in my personal opinion. I think it should be unlimited for what you're paying. My personal opinion. That's it. Some people don't believe me, but I do. 15 to go, Scott said. Holy hell, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're down to 6, guys. Nope. Now we're down to 5. 99,995. 5 more to go. 5 more to go, guys. 5 more to go. Any kind of questions you have, do it now. Because as soon as it hits 100,000, my voice is going. I'm going to go because I know I have to do a video for you guys tomorrow. And I was thinking about it. So we'll see if I'm going to do it now or not, or if I'm going to put it off a day. We'll see. Tom says, question. I'm in the same boat with CAD programs. Yes, absolutely. CAD's the same way. Autodesk is the same way. They screw you every which way possible, and they do that whole rental bullshit. Generic CAD with AutoCAD and mess with the whole system and up the option of inexpensive CAD programs. Yeah, so there are some CAD programs out there that are inexpensive that you can use. AutoCAD is, of course, the de facto, but there's some that are really kind of taking hold now because of 3D printing. But maybe I'll do something on that. That's a good thought. Thank you so much for that, Tom. Let's see. Welsh and Sun Farm says, missing you, Fab. You're the yin in his yang. She is the yin in my yang. Yeah. Raspberry Pi media server. Media servers are very cool. Like a Plex or something. Yeah, I like that. We could do something like that. I could do like a nice Plex with it. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe we'll get like a 12 terabyte, slap a Raspberry Pi on it, glue it to the side, and there you go. You got more media than you don't even know what to do with it, and your whole network will be able to watch the movies that you put on that 12 terabytes, So that's kind of cool. We could do something like that. I like that. Any other Raspberry Pi ideas? Let me know. Media server. I like it. Media server. Like it. Intro demo to the Raspberry Pi. Yeah, maybe we can do something like that. And I can give an explanation on how it works and how I do what I do with it. Debbie. How are you doing, Debbie? Thank you for being here. Debbie says, you are the reason I got Starlink. I watch your link. I watch your link for at least a year. Really? And then got a Starlink. I had Viasat. Holy hell, Viasat. I used to rag on Viasat and HughesNet so bad. Now I don't even rag on them because they're basically nothing. I mean, they're out of business. Okay, they're losing people. Just it's crazy. So, but yeah, I'm so glad that you ended up going with the Starlink. I don't get paid from these people, but I just tell you how it is. And, I appreciate you being here for the last year. And I was the, kind of the catalyst that got you to get into Starlink. So I'm very happy about that. The Peter has the T-Rex poop emoji. Do you like it? I do like that. Shai says, do you think we'll go to 200? Read through that. We're getting there. We are getting there. We're getting there. Holy hell. What are we at? We're at 3. We have 3 subscribers left until we hit 100,000 people. 3. Holy hell. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Let me get through some more of these questions before we hit that 3. T-Rex. Once again, I said thank you to Shai for that donation, for that super chat. Thank you for all those super chats. Bob is here. Thank you, Bob. Question: I noticed that you did not say like my wallet, 100% mine. No, I did not. Absolutely not. Quirky said I'm using Starlink. Thank you, Quirk, for being here. Appreciate that. Welch Farm says I'm learning stuff from you. Started the Starlink and now Adobe. Excellent. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you learned something. You know, a lot of times I do this stuff for fun. Some people, they think that I'm doing this like a CNN reporter. I'm like, I even say in these videos, I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm right. This is like, you know, I'm like a pundit, right? I'm like, I do commentary. So some of the stuff is right. Some of the stuff is wrong. I try to get it right, but sometimes I'm wrong and you guys call me out on it. We're learning together. You know, I always say I'm not like some guru that just sits here and just like spews out shit like CNN and expects it all to be real. CNN shit's not real. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, mainstream media is not real. So, anyways, we're moving on here. Red means go. Thanks for being here. It says, hi from Canada. Is this mini available this summer? It should be. It should be. The mini is starting out to a small portion of people here in the U.S. As of like 3 or 4 days ago, the mini is now the mini is available to everyone in the United States. So when they do that, that means that the demo or the promo or that prototype or whatever version has worked, and they haven't got them back. So I would say Canada will be next. Hang in there. You'll probably see it, you know, probably within a month or maybe even less. So hang in there, Canada. Question from Planet Earth. What is good enough? Let me see. What is a good alternative to YouTube? Shit, there isn't one. I've tried a lot. Okay. I have all of my videos. I have like over 500 videos, guys, on Rumble. I put it there just in case YouTube kicked me someday. You would be able to go straight to Rumble and see every one of these videos. If you go there, they're there. If I get 10,000 views on a video here on YouTube, I get 10 on Rumble. So until Rumble gets their shit together, it's like I can't even promote myself over there. It's dead. So unless you're like, you know, Russell Brand or some other like big figure that's sitting over there on Rumble, you're not getting any love. So until they fix the algorithm, a lot of these locations are not as good as YouTube. And that's just how it is. You know, I wish it was different, but it isn't. That's how it is. Let's see, moving down. Holy shit, guys. I just looked over. Oh my God. 100,005 subscribers. I was talking. We just hit 100,000 subscribers. Fabiola says, oh my God, I'm stunned. Holy shit. And Janet says, kick. Yeah, Fabiola is kicking me virtually. 100,000 subscribers. I don't even know what to think about it. It's like, it's been such a long road, but an enjoyable road. I don't know. I almost want to do a video like down the road a piece and talk about my journey and how I got here, and the different businesses I've had and the different things that I've done. Maybe people would be interested in it. Some stuff, you know, we'd have to kind of ask certain people if I can talk about it or not, let's just say. But I think it'd be pretty cool to do. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing something like that also. But yeah, we hit 100,000, guys. We hit 100,000. It's all because of you. You know, for so long, you know, I've been wanting to hit this milestone. It's one of those things that I think every YouTube creator, and like I said earlier, if you haven't been with me, out of the 100 million content creators on YouTube, 100 million, only 449,000, less than 500,000 actually have 100,000 subscribers or more. And probably out of that 500,000, a small portion also got those 100,000 by buying them. I never bought a single subscriber. So I really feel honored. I'm very thankful for all of you guys that have stuck with me for all of this time. And, it's not the end. It's just basically a new beginning. I'm going to now kind of look at everything that I've been doing. I'm going to look at what works, what doesn't work. I'm going to kind of cut the fat on the things that don't work. And I think I'm going to do more of what is working and then kind of move into some other things and start doing a sprinkling of other things and see what pops. Because I think that, I absolutely love everything that SpaceX has to do, everything that they do, all the stuff that's going on with Starlink. I absolutely love doing the coverage and everything, but I also want to sprinkle some things in like Adobe, maybe some more tech stuff, maybe some more photo and whatnot, just to kind of keep things fresh, right? So that's kind of like my goals. So if there's anything that you guys want to hear or see or whatever, when this video is done, instead of putting it in the chat, put it in the comments, put in, what other stuff that you'd like to see on the channel, because I always love to get ideas. But yeah, 100,000. Wow. Let me see here. Everyone's gone crazy in here. Oh my God. Yeah. So many people saw the 100,000 before I actually saw the 100,000. I was like, oh my God, wait a second. I looked over and it happened. Wow. 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 Let me see here. Tudal, Steve, congrats from him. Scott Cook, Planet Earth, Peter, thank you so much for everything, Peter, for sticking with me, sticking with the show now, even past your time, past your bedtime. Tim, thank you, Tim. Janice, Radioactive Texan, Mo World, Ricky Joe, Thumb, congrats on the 100,000, Kevin. Let me see here. Radioactive Nuke Bees, love it. Taylor Wood, thank you so much. Appreciate you. John, thank you. Zashi, or Zashai, I think. Yeah, Zashai. Thank you so much. Sarah, thank you. Congratulations. 100,000, 103. Wow, I don't know. Tim, thank you. David. Let's see who else. You Malice, I like it. Rumble Malice, Rumble. Sakura lady, I guess. Sakura, thank you for 100,000. The video virals, thank you. Jeff. Let's see. Alpha. Curtis, thank you for being here. Thank you for that. Did you know you were on Rumble? I did. It says watching from there now. What is that? Wait a second. It says, didn't you know you were on Rumble? Watching there from now. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I thought you were saying that I was like live on there. I'm like, wait a second. How the hell did that happen? I'm not broadcasting on Rumble. Yes. All of my videos are on Rumble. They kind of pollinate over to Rumble. Petrie, thank you for being here. First time. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. Another Kevin here. Let me see. Fabiola with the oh my God. Let me see who else is here. UP Tinkerer, thank you for that. Man, wow. Everyone's gone crazy in here. So we're at 100,003. It's going to fluctuate. It'll go up and down a little bit, but we actually hit it, and we hit it live, guys. We hit it live. Once again, thank you so much. I'm going to get out of here. I need to get a drink. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you live once again on Fridays at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We're definitely going to do the Elon Musk live, the TFT5. Also, if there is, once again, anything that you want to see, let me know in the comments after this is over. In the chat hangout, guys, I'm not going to shut this down for probably about maybe 15 minutes. You guys can talk in the chat if you like. I'm not going to turn it off yet, but this is just a big day. Once again, I am stunned. And I'm very grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you, Flying Pretzel, for that. I appreciate that. Thank you. 100K, guys. 100K. We made it. Have a great night. We'll see you in the next one. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Stay connected, as I always say. We'll see you in the next one. Love you all. Take care.